and appropriately greeting the arrival of the Hawthorn side, the fireworks in the traditional Hawk colours of brown and gold. So Hawthorn first out onto the ground tonight. The Hawks, as I said, premiers in the night series back in 1977, and they were runners-up to Collingwood in 1979. And now we await the arrival of the defending champions, Essendon, who've been defeated only twice in the day competition so far during 1985 by Footscray and North Melbourne. Bombers also won the title in 1981, and here they come now, led by acting captain Timmy Watson. Very, very good crowd in attendance in view of the cold conditions in Melbourne tonight. Certainly the crowd in excess of 20,000 as the Bombers gather to break their banner, and now the fireworks presented by Foster's in the traditional black and red colours of Essendon. Very spectacular opening to the 1985 Foster's Cup Grand Final from VFL Park. Good evening. I know it's going to be a great match. Let's go down to our men on the ground now, Peter Donegan and Jack Edwards.
Thank you very much, Peter, and a very good evening, everyone. Well, what a magnificent atmosphere we have here at VFL Park tonight for the Foster's Football Cup Grand Final. And with the crowd, as Peter said, well over 20,000 people, I can tell you down here on the ground, it is absolutely deafening, and the atmosphere is really one of a grand final. Both sides out on the ground now, welcomed by the fireworks, and as far as the Bombers are concerned, well, I had a look at the rooms there. They wouldn't really let us into the rooms. Kevin Sheedy locked his players up. Now, we know that Roger Merritt will not be playing. Simon Madden will also not be playing. But the good news is that Paul Salmon will be playing. He's out on the ground. They've named a very strong team. Trevor Spencer will play up on the forward line. And also Glenn Hawker will be back into the Essendon side after an absence of quite a while. So that's what's happening in the Essendon rooms. Let's find out how the Hawks are preparing for tonight's grand final as we say good evening to Jack Edwards.
Thank you, Peter. You surprised me when you said Salmon was playing. I thought this would be the last time they'd play Salmon. I know it's a grand final, but under these conditions, I thought bad news. But anyhow, that's their business. Whitman, Abbott, and also Malaxos on the bench for Hawthorn. They won't tell me exactly who's playing. There have been a few fellas under a cloud, but they're coming out now, and they're a pretty fit side, a strong side. A bit of a doubt on Tuck, a bit of a doubt on Brereton, but they're going out to win.
Well, Jack, who's your tip?
I'm going to stick with Hawthorn. I don't know why, but I'm going to stick with Hawthorn.
Well, I'll go a little bit differently. I'll go for the Bombers, but whatever the result, we're certainly in for a great game of football. A pretty cold night, but a top grand final coming up.
By the way, Peter,
yes, Jack?
They won't be the only fireworks we'll see either. There'll be plenty out there in the ground later.
Wouldn't be at all surprised if you're right. Let's return now to Peter Lamb.
Yes, I think we'll see a few fireworks out on the ground before the night's over, gentlemen, and the umpires for tonight's match. Two of the most experienced men in white on the VFL panel at the moment, Peter Cameron and Glenn James. We'll take a break and we'll be back with the action from the first quarter after this. Richards, good evening. Bob Skill.
Good evening, Pete.
Good evening, Pete. And Hawthorn won the toss, Pete, and are going to the small scoreboard into the ground.
Thank you, Robert. First quarter. As umpire Glenn James comes in to bounce the ball in the 1985 Foster's Cup Grand Final. Knocked down by Walsh starting in the ruck, taken by Williams. Kink looking for a free kick, and he'll get one. He decides to play on. The advantage rule applicable. Kink goes long. Not long enough, though, and the mark taken in the last line of defence by Chris Mew. A few players in the long-sleeve jerseys, which is certainly good advice tonight, I think. DP Domenico couldn't get the ball clear. Picked up by Lester Smith, who played a great game for Western Australia in the State of Origin a few weeks back. Knocked away from Gary Folds by Peter Curran. A chance for Western. Gets the ball out into the open spaces. Free kick to Hawthorn.
They're throwing the ball, Pete.
Dermot Brereton, who was also under a cloud prior to the match getting underway. Good kick by the Victorian centre-half forward. Down towards Judge. How they can leave him out of the Hawthorn side on some occasions amazes me, but that kick's well off target. It's out of bounds on the full, and it will be a free kick to be taken by arguably the best tagger in the VFL, Glenn Hawker. Though I suppose his teammate Shane Hurd would be pretty close to that as well. Williams, kick number 2 for the night. Williams up towards left centre wing for Essendon. Oh, Watson, great mark, and he's in fine form at the moment. Timmy Watson looks for the hand pass. Nagel over to Folds, who did a great job on Bandler on Saturday. Watson on left centre wing, looking for a 15-metre penalty against Lester Smith, but he's not getting one. And Timmy Watson, of course, kicked that steadying goal when Footscray came back in the final term against the Bombers at Windy Hill. Williams, he's been in everything so far. Kicks loose off the side of the boot out towards the right half forward flank. Harvey may get there first. Muir beats him to it. Sensibly off the ground, the ball up towards left centre wing, and in fact it could just about be out of bounds. Thompson right there with it though.
And it's still played out there and forced out of bounds. So it's out of bounds, no scorers yet. And we're at the 2-minute mark. Kevin Sheedy looking very interested. And so he should be. A lot of money at stake tonight. And of course, people are having a lot of people around Melbourne having grand final parties. And I should imagine they're enjoying a Foster or two.
Yes, I would imagine that'd be on the cards, Lou. I'd be the same if I were home.
Certainly would. It's a great night here and a big crowd over the 25,000 mark, I would say. Out there towards Watson. He's got the mark in front of Lester Smith out there at half forward. Boots the ball long, but Mew in the front posse of Salmon. And of course, Salmon, Bob, would have been a surprise inclusion in the Bomber lineup, I should imagine.
Yes, but obviously he proved his fitness with his game in the seconds on Saturday, Lou, so they must be completely confident that he's 100% fit.
Good mark to Foles. This fella's had a great season. Just about went for a hand pass. He's got a 15-metre penalty. Now he gives the hand pass over to Nagel. Nagel drives the ball long down there towards that forward pocket, flying high. Beautiful mark for Timmy Watson.
I tell you what, he's firing, isn't he?
My word, Timmy Watson and Williams have really been starring in this first 3 minutes of football of the 1985 Foster's Football Cup Grand Final. There's the replay again, Bob.
Yes, and he judged it to perfection. Coming across from the side, Royce Hart fashion on that occasion.
He's only about 30 metres out, if that. There's the kick on its way. But he's off target. It's through for 1 point. So that's the first score of the match coming at the 3.5-minute mark. 1 point Essendon to Hawthorn yet to score. It's going to be a pretty tough game tonight, I should imagine. Both these sides are very serious to win the big prize money. Punched out by Walsh of Essendon. Picked up here now by Vanderhaar. Gets through an opponent that time has a snap for goal. This could be the first goal. Well played by Mew. And this fellow hasn't played a bad first 3 or 4 minutes either, Bob.
It's been down there enough, hasn't it?
He's a little bit quicker than Salmon at the moment, but as Peter just said, the ball has been down there. Hawthorn having trouble getting it right into their forward zone as Morris takes the mark now.
Morris with the ball down there in the back pocket. Out it goes towards DP Domenico and Watterson. DP Domenico is the first to recover right on the boundary line. Not a great hand pass, but Wallace recovers okay. Kicks the ball back there towards the wing position. Getting in the back of Broden was Watson. A hand pass coming over now, and the ball taken away by Kennedy.
Kennedy's hand pass taken by Handley. Handley's gone for a pass down to Dunstall. Oh, it's a shocker. An absolute shocker. Dunstall let out well from his opponent, picking him up. That's Carey minding him. He didn't have any chance of getting near that, though. And so it will be a boundary throw in Hawthorn's right forward pocket. The first time they've been into attack, and it's taken them 5 minutes to get the ball down there. Essendon doing all the attacking up to this stage. Knocked down by Walsh. Tuck very close to the boundary line, and the boundary line beats him. And the boundary umpire finds himself in the seat of his pants as well. So once more a boundary throw in. Right forward pocket for Hawthorn. Walsh and Kennedy. Won by Walsh. It rebounds to Tuck. Left foot snap shot. Don't think will be a score. Curran got 2 hands to it. No mark to anybody. Picked up by Carey. Does it well out to Nagel. Just about offloaded, right to the bump well, gets the hand pass out to Gary Foulds, and what a great season he's having. Bandit right out of business on Saturday. Lester Smith and Watson. Ground obviously a little bit slippery over there. That may be a free kick to Essendon for holding the ball. Chance for Hawthorn again. That was Dia. The mark taken inside the square by Handley. Handley from left half forward. Walsh goes the spoil and does it well. Brereton and Hawker. Brereton looking for a push in the back. Out of bounds, says the boundary umpire, and it will be a boundary throw-in just past the 6-minute mark of the term. So both sides finding it difficult to score so far. Walsh and Kennedy. Hawker. Good tackle. Picked up by Clark. And it's going to be a free kick for... What was that for, Robert?
Not quite sure, Pete.
Well, Glenn Hawker's got the kick anyway, so he's laughing all the way to the back. He's gone for a hand pass, gets it out to Foulds. I don't think that was intended to go out there, but nonetheless, Neagle gets it out to Thompson. Thompson right on the boundary line. His kick is a good one up towards the VFL emblem on centre wing. A good smother, the ball rebounding to Di Domenico from Gary Ayres. Waterson gives the hand pass out. Back it comes to Baker. Baker's kick up towards the centre wing. Great mark taken by Van der Haar. Morris got one for his corner and gets a 15-metre penalty.
And it's Van der Haar to take the ball now. The Bombers 1 point to Hawthorn yet to score. There's Lester Smith driving it out wide on his own there as Wallace takes an easy mark. Hawker late on the scene. He goes for a long hand pass. Picked up by Swab at centre field. A long kick down there towards the full forward position. Carey tries to smother it, misses the ball. But they smother up there, the lot of them, and the umpire will pull it up about 35 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. Into this first quarter of the Foster's Football Cup Grand Final. 7.5 minutes. And the Bombers are 1 point to Hawthorn yet to score. But they've got a big chance here now. A ball up about 30 metres out from their goal. Knocked out by Walsh. Down goes Handley. Picked up by Donnell. He's got a free kick. Handley's well within kicking distance. And they could easily get the first goal of the match. He's about 30 metres out on a very slight angle. Waiting on Handley to put the Hawks' first score on the ball. There she goes, on its way. Oh, what a shocking kick. He didn't even score a point. And it's out of bounds on the full. A shocking kick that time by Handley.
Well, he's obviously a youngster. He's been coached by Ray Biffin. He's come through the under-19s.
There's a nice rap for Ray Biffin. Ball out there towards that half-back line. Donnell in the front posse taps the ball on. Wallace comes in to meet it. Gets a hand pass back. Not a good one. They fall over there like 9 pins. Well, a bit of smothering going on by both sides. No one making much headway here at all, but the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go out there to Neagle. He played a magnificent game last week. Neagle with a free kick with a 15-metre penalty. This brings him right up to the wing position. He goes for the long kick. Rene King there trying to get a position. Punches the ball down. Elshaw doesn't bother picking it up. He goes for a soccer jump off the ground. Now Salmon comes in. He's grabbed. He nearly threw that one. Coming in to meet it nicely as Robertson shows a bit of pace. He goes down. The umpire calls play and they pile on top of him. He had no hope of getting clear. And the umpire's going to ball it up about 10 metres out from the Essendon goal. They're 1 point to Hawthorn yet to score as we approach the 9.5-minute mark. Ball kicked off the ground again. Back it comes there to Clark over to Baker. Well, that'll be a mark and a free kick there on you, who's doing a magnificent job down there.
It's a point, Lou.
A point. He didn't play the mark.
I don't know why.
I thought it could have been a free kick, Bob.
I would have played either.
Waiting there for the ball to come back into play by Mew.
Chris Mew having plenty of work in the opening few minutes of the game. Mark taken by Schwab. Looking for Deere. Walsh spoils him effectively. Lester Smith to Di Domenico. That was a throw, says umpire Glenn James. Lester Smith telling Glenn James what he could do with the decision, but that won't do any good. Salmon in front. Just about got the grab. Kink. Morris. Back after a broken hand. His father Brian out here tonight watching. He'll be keen to see him do well. Knocked away by Glenn Hawker from Kennedy. Schwab, left centre wing for Hawthorn. Wobbles the punt kick up to deep here to Domenico. He's always popular with the Essendon supporters, of course. Birdie has a long shot at goal. Might be the first of the match. Oh, he's got it. Goal on the board, scored by Hawthorn's Robert Deep here Domenico. Hawthorn lead by 6 points. Walsh and Deere. Wallace on the bottom of the stack, but isn't he always? And we'll see another ball up still at centre field, just wide of the circle. Coming on for Essendon, it looks like Ezard. Well, certainly shortly.
Could be Waterson to come off.
Bounce again, favours Deere. Pumps it 15 metres downfield, only to see Gary Foulds grab it pretty quickly. Baker, Neagle, doesn't get a favourable bounce. It bounces excellently for Russo. Out to Tuck at half forward. Tuck looks for a hand pass, finds Wallace running past. Nearly made a move of that one. Wallace has a shot at goal, hit the post, I think, and took about 3 coats of paint off it. And so Hawthorn 1-1. They lead by 5 points now. Essendon yet to score a goal. 2 behinds at the 12-minute mark.
Ball back into play again. Out there to watch that half back line for the Bombers. In front as Walsh, punched away by Deere. Down goes Curran. We see Kennedy battling hard there, but can't get clear, and the umpire will ball it up about 55 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. They're 1 goal, 7 points to Essendon yet to score a goal. 2 behinds on the ball. Just over the 12-minute mark, knocked out by Brereton. Walsh spins out of the packet. He's had a great season for the Bombers. As it falls short, punched away by Van der Haar. Well smothered that time by Schwab. A hurried kick back to half forward. Curran's got up high enough and he's got the mark. A quick hand pass, and it was touched on the way through. Put Loveridge under tremendous pressure, but he was lucky to get a free kick out of that.
Very lucky, I think, Lou.
Loveridge with the free kick there about 50 metres out from goal. Lining him up. There's the kick into the goal square. Judge doing a bit of battling, got his hands but couldn't hold the mark. Scooting away like a racehorse this time is Donnell. Down there in the back pocket, out towards the half-back flank. No pressure at all. A hand pass to Waterson. Waterson's kick is a pass, a good one, and marked here by Harvey. Harvey's kick is hooked back towards the centre of the ground, but in the way that time is handled. He missed an easy shot before. Tucky with a long one. And Tuck kicks, hand pass goes to Wallace to DP Domenico, who kicked the last goal. He showed, well tackled by Watt. What a magnificent tackle.
Certainly was, Lou. He took nothing but the look straight at DP Domenico, ran straight at the body. And as we see the replay now, and Walsh took no worry about the hand in the face or anything else.
Magnificent tackle by Walsh. He's the guy I said has played so well this year. Over to Rene Kink, the incredible hole. Out there at half forward, hooks it across to centre half forward. The ball hits the deck. Plenty of Hawthorn players. Their hand pass comes out. And now the ball driven away by Swat. Out there on his own in centre field is Brereton. Could have played on, but decided to go back for the kick to let his opponents get settled down. DP Domenico. Couldn't hold that mark, lost sight of it, but luckily for Hawthorn, Tuck's there. A long shot towards Judge there, got his hand, well played that time by Thompson, and the ball is forced through for 1 point. So just over the 14-minute mark of this first quarter of the grand final of 1985 for the Foster's Footy Cup. It's Hawthorn 1 goal, 8 points to Essendon, yet to score a goal, and 2 behind.
Carey's kick out to the half-back line. Wallace. Brereton in front, or fumbles. But I think we can make excuses for the players tonight. The ball becoming very slippery with the dew on the ground. And umpire Peter Cameron has plucked a free kick out of that. And it will go to who? Brereton. I suppose on nights like this, Bob, it does pay to play in front.
I think it always pays to play in front, Pete, but you do get the benefit of the doubt. And on nights like this, you know, if you do get in the front position, and unless you're not trying to tap the ball away, you've got every opportunity.
Brereton, long kick. Is it long enough? Is it shepherded through? It's close. It's a goal. Grand final. Harvey went through pretty solidly, collided with one of his teammates, but ultimately gets the kick out towards the right half forward flank. Clark should get there first for Essendon, but there might be a free kick.
Downfield, Pete.
The advantage rule again. Clark plays on. Elshaw tackled well. Clark again gets his kick in despite some attention from Loveridge. It's out of bounds in Essendon's right forward pocket. 16 minutes gone in the first quarter. Leon Baker on the bench at the moment. He's also been a very consistent player for the Bombers. Knocked down by Van der Haar. Picked up by Watson, looking for a free kick for in the back or holding the man. Umpire Cameron says neither. It's a free kick for Hawthorn.
I thought Watson might have got the free kick personally.
And obviously showing his displeasure by the way he threw the ball back. It's gone to Morris. Morris's kick up towards the centre wing. Walsh grabbed. We're not in possession. He'll take the free kick for the Bombers.
Walsh with the ball out there on the centre wing position. 12 points the difference in favour of Essendon. A long kick up there over centre half forward. No one could take the mark. Coming out of the pack is Elshaw. Spins out of it beautifully. Kicks 6 fine goals on Saturday. Up it goes towards the full forward position, but there's Harvey. He's got the mark. One of the most exciting young players in football, this fellow. He's only about 20 metres out from goal, and a big chance to kick there first. There's the mark again. Never looked like missing that one. Right on the scene was Ayres.
Good sign of the courage of Harvey there. And there was nothing but the eyes on the ball.
That's right, Bob. Waiting there on Harvey. Kick on its way. Now that's all right. It's a goal. Just on the 18-minute mark of this first quarter. And the umpire has found a free kick. It'll go to Waterson. So the Bombers have got a chance to go deep into attack. It's a long kick over the centre half forward position. The ball hits the ground. Down goes Elshaw. The ball thrown out. Vanderhaar throwing himself, then kicking it off the ground. That was a marvellous effort. As the ball finally comes out there now to Deere, a long hand pass over to Little Loveridge on his own at half back. Looking for a lead, he goes out wide, looking for deep here to Manico, who's got the sit on Waterson. Doesn't waste any time, quickly plays another pass. Looking for Curran, dropped the mark. Shouldn't have dropped that one, could have grabbed it on the chest as the ball goes back there to Waterson at half back. The ball out wide now, in front is Hazard. He got put out of position, and the umpire said it was in the back. So it's a free kick to Hazard out there on the centre wing position. Just on the 19-minute mark, it's 2 goals, 2-14 Hawthorn to Essendon, 1 goal, 2-8 points.
Chance for Watson again, just about through that one. Certainly been a fine player for the Bombers so far in the game. Harvey, that he had his head pulled off, should get a free kick for that. Crowd didn't like it. And
It looked like it from here.
it certainly did.
Tell you what, the crowd's built up now. Peter, it's around about the 30,000 mark, I would say.
Excellent crowd, Lou, in view of the cold night in Melbourne. And let's not forget the petrol restrictions. Maybe there are people all with odd numbers on their cars that are here tonight. Lester Smith. Long kick up towards the centre wing position. Curran makes no mistake about this one. Missed has said it before. Then again, they all look easy from up here. Good pass to Brereton. Brereton at right half forward, chips it in short. Who's that one intended for? Don't know. Kennedy was perhaps nearest. Deep here to Domenico. Had it and then gets ridden into the ground. You'll get a free kick. And I suppose Birdie would be one of Hawthorn's leading possession gatherers too so far. Bob, he's certainly been a trier, hasn't he? Now there's quarter time. I wasn't looking at the clock, but of course Deep here Domenico will have his shot.
Could be a vital goal, this one, Bob.
It's a vital kick.
Well, if he kicks the goal, I should say.
I think he has. It's a goal, so Deep here Domenico 2 goals in the first quarter, bringing up Hawthorn's third, and they lead 3-2, 20 to 1-2-8 in the grand final of the Foster's Cup. As players take up their positions for the second term, Bob Skilton, how did you see the first 20 minutes?
Well, the first 8 or 9 minutes or so, really favoured Essendon, but they couldn't put the score on the board. And Chris Mew was doing an excellent job at that stage, as we see Alan Jeans leaving the ground, led along there with Jack Edwards, and that's not Jack Edwards, that's the fireworks. And so looked as though there might have been a few fireworks, but umpires James and Cameron really quick to ensure that they gave a few 15-metre penalties away and let the players know they were on the job. In that early stages, it was Chris Mew who held Essendon out. He was right on top of the big fellow there in Salmon, and Essendon continually bombarded away though, but the Hawthorn defence held tight. And during the quarter, we saw Deep here Domenico. There's the first of his 2 goals. The second came after the siren, and Deep here Domenico, Brereton now with another long goal, and they were the 3 goals kicked by Hawthorn. Essendon's goal was kicked in that quarter by Mark Harvey, who's been, as usual, a busy player. But overall, because of the 20 points to 8, it's only natural that the quarter did belong to the Hawks. They were tight in defence, not really allowing Essendon to get clear. Walsh was the best of the ruckman as Kevin Sheedy comes off the ground. And So Peter Donegan was having a little bit of trouble along with our cameraman out there. So we might get Peter Donegan to find out what just did happen at quarter time.
Yes, Bobby, you can say that again. Well, the Essendon camp didn't want to let us anywhere near the players. We weren't within a bull's roar of them. We tried to get some shots for you, but they said that they just didn't want us anywhere near Coach Kevin Sheedy while he was addressing the players. So I can't tell you anything about it.
Well, that's
and we can't really
understandable,
show
though,
too
Pete.
many shots.
Understandable, because Yabby said to me, now, tell him to Nicky whoop. And I said, look, Yab, we'll stay away. We'll take our shots, but a little bit far out. It's a grand final, Pete. Those boys out there, the coaches are up there, and they don't want anyone to know what's going on.
All right.
It's one of those things. It's a grand final. Yabby Jeans is tight, very tight, as is Sheedy. They've played each other a lot of times now. Yabby wants to win one.
Well, Jack, we just saw a bit of what happened over at the Essendon camp there. I can tell you here at VFL Park now, we just took a reading during the quarter-time break. It's about 4 degrees. There is no wind, but the ground is pretty slippery. But I think all things considered, they're doing a pretty good job, Jack.
As I said about the fireworks, we're going to see more yet, don't worry.
All right, the second quarter of the grand final about to get underway as we return now to Peter Landon.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Jack Edwards. And we begin the second quarter now at VFL Park. Umpire Peter Cameron to bounce the ball for the start of the second term. Hawthorn leading by 2 goals, 3-2 to 1-2. Hawthorn this quarter kicking towards the left of the screen. Essendon kicking to the right and socket off the ground. Izzard on the ground. That would be his first touch. He spent a lot of time on the bench in the opening term. Van der Haar, great mark. Hasn't he had a fine season? Paul Van der Haar could just about get the distance too with this kick. He's about 55 metres out. Looking for Salmon off the hands of the pack, hit the post, and so the lead reduced now to 11 points.
Well, they're certainly smothering Salmon every time the ball gets down. There's about 4 going against him, Bob.
So that was, Essendon took a long while to get that ball down, and so they've got a chance to get down there.
Chris Mew, who did well on Salmon in the first quarter, but of course was kept busy in the first 10 minutes or so. Handley knocks the ball onto Wallace. He gets grabbed from behind by Kink and will get a free kick at centre half back. Terry Wallace, the Hawthorn centre man, the leading kick getter in VFL ranks this year. Wallace out towards the right centre wing. Chance for Kevin Walsh. Certainly one of the most improved players in the VFL, and I guess we'd have to bracket him with Roger Merritt, 2 very valuable players and key cogs in the Essendon engine room, certainly. Williams can't pick it up. The ball obviously like a piece of soap out there at the moment with the heavy dew falling. Lister Smith went for the hand pass. It's picked up by Morris. Morris chips it in short up towards centre field, and the mark taken there by Wallace, and he will get a 15-metre penalty from umpire Glenn James. Wallace decides to play on, not worrying about the 15 metres. Ball knocked away by Donnell from tuck. Brereton went down. He's got the ball as well, though. Could almost be holding it. And umpire Glenn James says it will be a bounce at the right half forward flank. For Hawthorn, 2 minutes gone, second quarter.
Ball up about 40 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. They're in front by 11 points. Tuck spins out of the pack. A hand pass back to Brereton. Runs into a brick wall there. And finally picked up that time by Loveridge. Down there towards Dunstan and Gary having a great battle down there. Harvey missed that one completely. Ball comes back to DP. Manico. He might have got his 3rd goal. No, it's a point. Well, he's hot tonight, Bertie. 3 goals, 3-21 Hawthorn to Western, 1 goal, 3-9 points. Into the second quarter of the Foster's Football Cup Grand Final by 2.5 minutes. Short kick. Donnell runs around Tuck. He's in a bit of trouble now. Oh, Bertie Dean's got him right around the neck. And he'll get a free kick. He could have been gone there that time, Bob.
Didn't look much different to one of Harvey's, did it?
That's right. The ball kicked out there towards the half-back line. At the back is Deere. Goes the punch. Picked up by Thompson. Thompson's kick is a long one out wide. Elshaw and Robertson go for this one. Robertson overran the ball. Elshaw goes down. I thought he might have grabbed him by the leg. Picked up by Morris. Over to Wallace. Morris starting to star in the centre. Back to Harvey. He's grabbed. Kicks the ball as he falls to the ground and marked here by Watson. Good play by Harvey. Watson's kick is over there towards Rene Kink and Ayres. But Kink will just about grab it. The umpire called one. He's got time to recover. It's a hand pass back. Back it goes to Williams. Oh, he was grabbed but shrugs his opponent off. Back it goes there towards the full forward position. Little fella grabs a beautiful mark. Good time, Izzard.
Great mark.
Great mark to Izzard. Right in front of me, about 15 metres out from goal.
Once again, great courage being shown. And a lovely mark by Alan Ezard.
Bit of messing about by Essendon that time. Rene Kink went against the goals. There's the kick, and that's okay. It's a goal.
Mark by Alan Ezard. Certainly the best grab we've seen so far tonight in the Foster's Cup Grand Final. Well, could have almost been a free kick there. Now towards centre wing, Kennedy. Good tackle by Neagle. Bertie Di sockers it off the ground. It's almost out of bounds. He's picked it up now. That's not out of bounds.
He must have leant backwards, I'd say, and the boundary umpire was in pretty good position to see. And it didn't look out of bounds from here, but as we watch again, it wasn't there.
Yes, well, he took it. He
picked it up out of bounds, I think, Pete.
No, he didn't pick it up. He dragged it back out of bounds before he got his kick, because it didn't look out of bounds when it was on the ground. Anyway, Neagle had it, put his head down, gets it out to Williams, who started off the first quarter in great fashion. Williams' kick up towards Van der Haar with a fine mark. And it's got to be a 15-metre penalty. Pretty stupid. Short pass. And well taken by Clark at half forward. Clark's gone for a hand pass. Folds. If he goals here, it will level the scores. Shepherded through, but only 1 point. And that makes the difference now 5 points in favour of Hawthorn at the 5.5-minute mark of the second quarter. 3-3 to 2-4. Chris Mew goes for a short pass. Could be dangerous, but effectively marked by Schwab. He was Hawthorn's leading kick getter in the first quarter. He had 6 kicks. Walsh could have almost spoiled his own man. Went between the legs of Terry Wallace. Walsh goes in, so too does Russo. And it will be a bounce, according to umpire Peter Cameron, just off the edge of the centre square. 6 minutes gone in the second quarter. Hawthorn lead by 5 points.
Ball up at centre half forward for Essendon. They're down by 5 points. Ball knocked out by Van der Haar. Slung back and kicked the ball back as Lester Smith, but Walsh in the way. Goes for a kick towards Rene Kink. Got his hands, but tapped it over that time to Watson. This could be a goal, a long shot, but he's off target and it's through for 1 point. So it's 4 points the difference. 6.5 minutes gone of the second quarter. The grand final of the Foster's Football Cup for 1985. Waiting on Mew. He's doing a pretty good job down there at fullback. Salmon yet to score a goal. Di Pierdomenico in front, grabbed that. He's off to a great start tonight as the ball goes out wide. Foles having a battle there with Curran. The ball tapped to the ground. Foles and Curran still at it. Broden comes on the scene, but Foles has got it smothered. And the umpire said it'll be a free kick. It'll go there against him. For holding the ball, smothering at that time. It goes over to Curran, looking for Loveridge, coming over to meet him as Elshaw knocks it to the ground. But the umpire will play the mark. So Loveridge with the kick out there at half forward, about 70 metres out from goal. Hawthorn 3-3 to Essendon 2-5. It's a good kick by Loveridge. Dunstall trying to make position. Walsh got up high. Tuck gets a hand pass back there to Judge. A snap at goal, right across the face at goal. But there we see Neagle to take the mark right on the boundary line. He's grabbed. The hand pass comes back. The ball driven away by Carey. Out wide now towards Watson. Good play on the part of Abbott that time, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Hawthorn changing off the bench, Abbott and Deer.
Abbott now to go for the knockout.
Greg Deer on camera. Steve Malaxos just behind him.
Well, he's a big lad. I think he's only about 18 years of age too, Bob.
It's another one that's come through from Ray Biffin in the under-19s, Lou.
Well, Ray's doing a great job down there as we see the ball picked up by Tops. That's a hurried kick, but the umpire's found a free kick. It might go downfield. Yes, it will to Essendon. So to take the free kick at the centre wing position will be Harvey. The time 8 minutes gone of this second quarter. 3-3-21 Hawthorn to Essendon 2-5-17. It'll be Williams now, sending it across the centre half forward. Van der Haar in front, punched away that time by Abbott. Driven up there by Hawthorn towards centre half forward. Walsh couldn't hold that mark. But backing up well that time as Little Thompson goes for short kick. Hawker overruns the ball. Di Pierdomenico gets the front posse. He's slung to the ground. Well tackled by Hawker, and the umpire said it'll be a free kick. It'll be a free kick going to Nagel out there on the centre wing position for the Bombers.
A short pass, well roved by Clark. Flicks out the hand pass to Folds. Folds in turn back to Clark at centre field, who puts Essendon deep into attack. In front, Abbott couldn't take the mark. Backing up, Robertson got grabbed, but didn't have the ball. He'll take a free kick at half back and gets a 15-metre penalty. I tell you what, they're dishing out them tonight. Not a good pass. In fact, it was a shocker. Williams's attempted disposal smothered. Baker grabbed by Kennedy, arguably too high. Glenn James has given a free kick. It's going the other way, though, for a high tackle. It's going to Hawthorn. And the recipient is Kennedy. He gets it out to his lookalike in Colin Robertson. Robertson up towards right half forward, trying to find Dunstall. Carey recovers better. Chips it in short. Glenn Hawker takes the mark and gets dispossessed pretty quickly, but the umpire says he can take the free kick or kick. Hawker from left half back flank. Trying to find King. Knocked away from him. Now he's still got it. In pretty good form lately, King too. Schwab couldn't take the mark. Yes, it is a mark, says umpire Glenn James. Schwab playing quite a good game, Bob.
Yes, he's done well across the half-back line. A busy player. He always does a good job no matter where he plays.
Brereton and Weston clash. Neagle, he's done well. Folds. It's pushed out of the road by Kennedy, who himself gets a push himself.
I think he dived on that rather than getting a push, really.
Go along with that, Bob.
The umpire says no. Funny old pass is nonetheless effective, though, and the judge takes the mark just up from right centre wing. Long way from goal, 10.5 minutes gone, second quarter. Ken Judge, high kick, covers a good 55 metres in front. Weston and Walsh. Walsh recovers quicker, shoots the hand pass out, taken by Tuck, who gets dispossessed pretty quickly over to Donnell right on the boundary line. Chips it in short. Lester Smith and Watson. And Watson's had the better of that deal. Not a good hand pass by Timmy Watson. Judge almost caught. Fires the hand pass out to Brereton. Brereton onto the left foot. Trying to find Bernie, and he's got him. And DP Domenico marking about 30 to 35 metres out directly in front of goal.
Well, he certainly started off well tonight. That was a beautiful pass from Brereton, Bob.
Look at Brereton now straight across the ground. And DP Domenico coming down from the wing. So he's attempting now to kick his third goal.
And he's only about 20 metres out directly in front. There it is on its way. And it's another goal. The mark of the second quarter. 4 goals, 3:27 Hawthorn to Essendon. 2 goals, 5:17. 10 points the difference. And the Hawks doing it okay at the moment. But don't give the Bombers away. They're a tough combination. The ball driven over the half-forward line. But in the way that time was Morris to take the mark there at centre-half back. Morris goes out wide towards the wing position. Punched on by DP Domenico. Going in to meet it now at half-back there is Walsh. Hooks the ball back towards the half-forward line. Punched away from Elshaw that time by Robertson. He's got a job of tagging Elshaw because they know how dangerous he's around the growls. That kick is up there by Tuck, but a good mark taken here by Donnell at half-back. 4 goals, 3 plays, 2 goals, 5 in favour of Hawthorn.
Another 15-metre penalty, Luke.
Yeah, they're certainly dishing those out tonight. Short pass. Ball comes back. Van der Haar couldn't get it. Picked up by Ezard up there towards Salmon and Mew. He goes the punch again. Mew doing a great job. Van der Haar went in that half it was to Morris. The ball kicked back again and a mark taken here by Donnell. Donnell's kick is up towards the full forward position, but Wallace is in the way to take a mark. Hawthorn playing with a bit of confidence now as the ball goes out wide. And a good mark taken there from that pass of Wallace's by Lester Smith. Curran tries to get into position. There's 2 against him. Clark is the one that comes out with the ball. A hand pass over there at half back there to Thompson. A good pass again. And the ball is marked here by Baker. Oh, got around his opponent beautifully. A hand pass over to Foles. A long kick up there towards Harvey trying to get into position. Punched away by Lester Smith. The ball hits the deck. Going after it now is Robertson. Couldn't pick it up. Taps it on. It comes back to Elshaw. He's put off balance. Was he pushed in the back? Throw. He said throw in the ball. So the free kick to go to Hawthorn down there in the back pocket. And when we're approaching the 14-minute mark, it's 4 goals, 3:27 Hawthorn to Essendon, 2 goals, 5:17 into the second quarter of the 1985 Grand Final for the Busters Footy Cup, Peter.
Robertson to DP Domenico. Back in towards centre field. Wallace pushed his opponent out and has conceded a free kick to Essendon. Not the heaviest of pushes, certainly. The Essendon player making sure the umpire had seen it. Nonetheless, a correct decision. Neagle trying to find Salmon. Ball hits the deck. In goes Watson. Tackled by Tuck. Morris. Just interesting, the 2 full forwards, Dunstall and Salmon, have yet to have a kick. Has been kept fairly quiet. 10 points in favour of Hawthorn. Salmon doing the ruck work now. Doesn't get an effective tap out. Nobody can. Ball scooped out again. Comes out to Neagle. Neagle goes for a hand pass. Harvey. That's close. I think it's a goal. Yes, it is. 4 points the difference. 15 minutes gone, and Harvey bringing up his second goal for Essendon. DP Domenico has 3 for Hawthorn. 4 points.
Both players are covering plenty of territory. Harvey coming right down from half forward on that occasion. And as we watch the replay, Elshaw gets it across to Neagle. Neagle to Harvey, and off one step, and shows the skills of Mark Harvey. An excellent goal. Watching it again from a different angle, and I think Harvey knew from the moment it left the boot that it was through the centre.
Towering kick up towards Essendon half-forward line, tapped out of bounds by Robertson. It's in the forward pocket. 15.5 minutes gone. Only 4 points in it. We expected it to be close. It certainly has been that so far. Neither side giving much. Been a fairly low-scoring affair, but I think in view of the conditions, that's not really entirely unexpected as well. Knocked down by Van der Haar. Chance for Tuck, fires out a hand pass, not a particularly good one. Neagle gets offloaded too high. It will be a free kick, of course. Merv Neagle, right half-forward flank for Essendon. Sees the lead being made. He's looking for the height of Salmon. Elshaw couldn't tap it. Free kick to Hawthorn. And it will be taken by Robertson or Tuck. It's been taken by the latter. Tuck sees Wallace on his own, and Wallace has got possession.
And Wallace clear with a perfect pass. The ball marked there by Loveridge at centre field. I noticed that Robertson's not leaving Elshaw go after he kicked those 6 goals on Saturday, Bob.
Salmon off the Spencer, Bob.
It's not a bit surprising, is it?
No, certainly not. And he's doing a pretty good job, too. But Wallace's kick is out there towards that half-back line, but there's a mark taken down there by Hawker. Hawker with the ball at half-back. 4 points the difference. Just on the 17-minute mark of this second quarter. Oh, great mark that time by Lester Smith. This fella's had a fantastic season for Hawthorn. He's played some great games. That's a beautiful pass taken there by Kennedy out there at half-court, about 65 metres out from goal. Kick falls a bit short. Punched away that time by Weston. And there'll be a ball up here for sure, about 30 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. They're 4 goals, 3:27 to Essendon 3:5:23. As we approach the 17.5-minute mark of this second quarter. Well, that was knocked out by Kennedy. The ball shot down there towards Duff's got a chance to get his first kick and his first goal, but he's collared there. He gets a hand pass back to Judge, a snap and goal. And what's he done with that? Hit the post. So the difference now, 4 goals, 4:28 Hawthorn to Essendon 3:5:23. And Hawthorn and Essendon putting on a ding-dong struggle here for this 1985 Foster's Football Cup Grand Final. Good mark to Hawker. Is he going to play that? Now he called play on. I think that was worth a mark for effort. But the umpire will ball it up out there towards the Hawthorn half-forward line, about 45 to 50 metres out from their goal. It'll be Kennedy in the ruck against Walsh. Well, neither got control of that one, but it's Walsh coming out with the ball, trying to get a hand pass to Carey. He's down by DP and a minute ago. A scrimmage developing there, and the umpire will ball it up once again as we get over the 18-minute mark, just onto the 18.5-minute mark of this second quarter.
5 points in favour of Hawthorn. The bounce at Hawthorn's left half-forward flank. Walsh hit it too hard, actually. Russo, tap on. Down to Carey. Dunstall. DP Domenico. Holding the ball. Through it. Nonetheless, he's Hawthorn's best player, I would say, at the moment. Neagle, he's just about Essendon's best. Thompson. Thompson left half-back flank.
Neagle got one after he hand passed it then too. Don't be a bit surprised that there's not a report.
On to Watson. Lester Smith. Right there with him. He's his tag tonight. Just about out of bounds. In fact, it is now on centre wing. 19 minutes gone.
Well, he's a greatly improved player, Lester Smith. But there we've seen Neagle in a bit of trouble.
He's after he hand passed. He was given one by his opposite number.
You can work it out.
One.
Close to half-time. Harvey. Well, got one at the back from Russo, did he? Yes. Harvey takes the free kick. Baker let one go at Birdie. Things livening up now. Donnell, right half forward flank. Looks as though he's like a traffic policeman. He gets 15 metres, worth the effort. Spencer almost took the mark, picked up by Chris Mew. 10 seconds before the half-time siren, up towards centre wing, almost a mark. Under these conditions, Thompson could have almost been played. Missed him.
I'll say he did, not by much.
Donnell. There's the siren for half-time, and probably just as well. Tempers might cool down a little bit. Won't take them long under these conditions. 4-4 to 3-5. Hawthorn by 5 points at half-time.
Well, there's Bertie Vietnamanico. He's done a great job so far, Bob. He's kicked 3 goals. He's been a very strong player out there on that wing position.
He's covered plenty of territory, Lou. His tackling has been superb, and he's applied pressure on Essendon whenever they've got the ball. But the reason that there's only been 4 goals scored by Hawthorn and 3 by Essendon is that both sides have applied pressure everywhere you look. There hasn't been too many easy kicks to come by out there, and it's only when players have been prepared to work and run into an open space that they have been able to get kicks, and a lot of those have only been out towards the wings, and both sides at times have been forced to go wide. There have been very few easy kicks to come by, and it's been an excellent half of football. It hasn't been the prettiest game of football you'd wish to see, but it certainly is tough and hard, and a credit to the coaches of both sides with the way these two teams are going about it.
It's a typical grand final match, Bob. We expect this sort of football. You don't get the best style of football, but you get a cup game, don't you? Always.
And that's exactly what it is, Luke.
That's right.
Okay, there it is at half-time. 5 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. 4-4 to 3-5. We'll take a break and back with Palmer's punchlines after this break.
Hawthorn made it through to tonight's lucrative Foster's Football Cup Grand Final in fine fashion. In the first round, they journeyed to Football Park to take on Port Adelaide. Dermot Brereton was to be the star of the night, with 7 goals as the Hawks cruised to a 19-point victory. Next up came Collingwood, a team which had beaten the Hawks just a couple of weeks prior. The Magpies have a sound record in night competition, so the match was destined to be a tight struggle. This was not to be, as Hawthorn soundly thrashed the Magpies by 87 points. So on it was to the semi-final, with only Carlton standing in the way of the grand final and a possible $120,000 in prize money. By three-quarter time, Carlton trailed by only 6 points, and it seemed a grand final appearance would be a hard-fought affair. The all-important final quarter saw the relentless Hawks in full flight as they piled on 10 goals won to Carlton's 3-4. It was the Hawks by 45 points to set up tonight's Foster's Football Cup Grand Final.
Time, DP to Medico 3 goals, and Brereton 1 for the Hawks, and for the Bombers, Harvey 2 and Essard 1. 4-4 to 3-3 at half-time in the grand final of the Foster's Cup. A regular half-time feature right throughout the 1985 season during the Foster's Cup matches from either Football Park in Adelaide or VFL Park here in Melbourne has been Palmer's Punchlines. For the final time in season 1985, it's a very good evening to the sporting editor of the Sunday Press, Scotty Park.
Good evening, and it's great to have you back on Punchlines. It's not official yet whether Gary Ablett and Paul van der Haar will be eligible to win this year's Brownlow medal after being suspended for willfully wasting time, but it's only a few weeks away from happening. The league board will call a special meeting to rubber stamp the recommendation of the general managers to change the old rule and put the outed pair back in the medal running. Then all the arguments will start from bookmakers who took bets that Ablett and van der Haar wouldn't win that medal. Coaching is again the big league subject. I expect at least 8 men to be interviewed for Ron Barassi's job at Melbourne, but I don't believe rumours that suggest some players will have a say in his choice. Among the Demon candidates will be Robbie Walls and 3 ex-Tigers, Francis Burke, Tony Jewell and Kevin Bartlett, along with a couple of big names still engaged in the finals wash-up. Ray Jordan won't be interviewed, neither will Greg Wells, I suspect. Jordan is high among the candidates for Fitzroy, along with Bernie Shee and ex-ruckman Ron Alexander, now coaching East Fremantle. Bobby Rose has not said yes or no at Collingwood, but I suspect he'll stay another year. The player chase in West Australia continues. Now Footscray leads North Melbourne and Hawthorn in the race for Clinton Browning. The brilliant mark from East Fremantle. He's already taken 101 this season, and this is the last night of the series, the end of the rainbow as such. What about a story on a man who has found his rainbow? On the track to wild and woolly Gunnamatta Beach, a man some say was as fearsome as the waves pounding this stretch of Mornington Peninsula coastline, lives in splendour and with his torrid memories. Max Oppie, a granite-like figure who carved his reputation at the Punt Road Oval from 1942 to 1954, now uses his crushing hips and Popeye forearms for more genteel pursuits than destroying resting rovers. They are his weapons in spearing a golf ball up to 300 metres across his own private golf range and doing the homework on his single-figure handicap. Oppie, coach of the Tigers in 1956, is today a gentleman farmer of sorts, a racehorse owner with some business interests, but basically a lover of home. And why shouldn't he be? The past, and there are many who can testify to his talent and his vigour. Lou Richards, Ern Hemfrey, a downy-cheeked Alan Aylett. Now it seems a long way off, but was it really? Apparently Lou Richards called you Conan the Barbarian, you were so bad out there. Were you a strong player, Max?
Well, I guess I was a ball player, probably not in the sense that a lot of people would call, say, a Billy Hutchison or a Kevin Bartlett type player, but if the ball was in front of me and all I could see was the ball, and unfortunately, I guess some people got in the way.
Yesterday, the kicks Max Oppie gets are those he receives attending his fine Arabian stallion, Light, and many of the champion's offspring. Baling hay and lucerne, tending to his gracious property, or simply lolling around in his magnificent Roman spa, where he can ease the aches and pains from a 186-game career in a flag-winning era at Richmond. Oppie has some advice for Kevin Sheedy and Alan Jeans about life after football.
Oh, beautiful.
If I got in there with Max, I don't think there'd be any room left. But again, I've had a wonderful season, and thanks for all the support, and keep punching.
A little bit cold tonight, then this should be a sight to get the blood circulating. The Bluebirds strutting their stuff at half-time. Score 23-28 in favour of Hawthorn. Bob Skelton, how did you see the first half?
Well, an excellent first half of football, Pete, because both sides applied pressure all over the ground. I think indicative of the fact that neither full forward has been able to gain a kick. Dunstall had one hand pass. Salmon has been taken off the ground and replaced by Spencer, and that's indicative of the pressure applied all over the ground. It's 4 goals to 3, and it's very, very rare that players are able to steady in the manner that we saw DP Domenico early in the piece, and there have been some very, very tough encounters out there. Neither side has given an inch. The umpires have been forced to give quite a deal of 15-metre penalties because both sides have been prepared to hold up play and make sure that players were covered further upfield. And we've seen some great displays of courage. That one of Ezard then, DP Domenico, who kicked 3 goals during the first quarter, during the first half, 2 in the first quarter. That one then, and now we see Mark Harvey kick one of his 2 goals as he snaps truly after taking the hand pass from Neagle. But the Hawthorn dressing room, and I would say by the time this game finished, there's going to be some sore and sorry boys, and I'm sure the Carlton are looking at this with interest and hoping that this game continues just as it is, because Carlton have got Essendon coming up next Saturday, having, I think, lost about 17 in a row.
Never won in the last 5 years, Bob, against them.
And so this is the best opportunity that Carlton could ever have, because there's not too many games that come any tougher than these two sides are playing now. The tackling has been fierce. Wallace has been an excellent player in the centre. All in all, a very, very even first half, and as indicative of the scoreboard.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Hawthorn leading by 5 points at half-time as we go to the 7 National newsroom, where I'm sure it's just a little bit warmer. Here's Laurie Wilson. Peter Schwab receiving some liniment there from one of the Hawthorn trainers. The all-important third quarter coming up shortly, but let's go down to our man on the ground, Peter Donning.
Thank you, Pete. Well, not too much to report from the Essendon rooms, and the reason is that I went up the race at half-time and got to the Essendon rooms, and they just weren't letting anyone in at all. I was in there just for about 30 seconds or so, and my appearance coincided with that of Kevin Sheedy, and I really couldn't repeat most of the things he said to his players. Now, I think it's worth keeping in mind that Kevin is possibly a little bit upset about the fact that Essendon have had 4 more kicks, 12 more handballs, 6 more frees and 7 more hit-outs and still trail. So obviously the use of the ball is something that Kevin Sheedy is talking to his players about. He has them locked up behind closed doors and no doubt would be hoping for a better second half. Jack, I think you had a bit more luck in the Hawthorn rooms.
I don't know that I did, but you sound like I've sounded a few nights out here at times, Pete. People not talking to you, nothing to do with you. But Alan Jeans took his players behind locked doors. He has them in there now. He's ranting and raving, as coaches sometimes do, and in grand finals always do. I did notice that Di Domenico was limping. I asked the doctor, what's wrong with Di Domenico? He said he's got one leg shorter than the other. That's as much as they tell you out here. So we can't really tell you much. But Alan Jeans isn't quite happy the way things are going. He is in front, but not by much. And as I said, I think some more fireworks will erupt before the night's out.
All right, well, you see the scene in the Hawthorn dressing rooms at half-time in tonight's grand final. Just to repeat what we did say at quarter time, that it is very slippery out here. And the players are doing an excellent job of handling the ball under the circumstances. Jack, the low score, the comparatively low score at half-time, with only 7 goals having been scored, it's very much like last year's grand final, when in the first quarter we saw only 2 goals kicked between the two sides.
Well, I think it's to be expected under the conditions, so that comes down to everything. They've had the same number of shots for goal, so only the team that's kicked a little bit straighter than the others, the one in front, and it's Hawthorn. I think it's going to continue that way. I couldn't imagine any side getting any more than a couple of goals in front. If any side gets 3 in front, to me, they're home.
All right, well, we'll see what happens when the second half does resume. And as we return upstairs to Peter Landy, Pete, I can tell you down here on the ground, it is 3.5 degrees.
OK, that's 1 degree for each of your feet, Pete. Well, talking about stats, sorry about that. And statistician Kevin Williams has just told me that 2 15-metre penalties to Hawthorn, 9 15-metre penalties to Essendon. Bob, an interesting one?
It's quite interesting, but I think Hawthorn have done it deliberately to make sure that Essendon can't get the ball moving in a hurry. And so, as we, excuse me, and Hawthorn warming up again before they come out onto the ground. But I think those 15-metre penalties, umpire Cameron and James have been very, very quick to make sure that they get things going in a hurry. And some tempers look as though they might be a little bit frayed in the stand, although possibly has settled down, hopefully anyway.
Just warming up, Bob. As Peter Donningham mentioned, it's only 3.5 degrees, so that's just to warm them up. OK, players are warming up in the dressing room, and of course the player that's judged best on the ground tonight is the superb national player after half-time, led by acting captain Timmy Watson, with of course Terry Danaher still on the sidelines, and Timmy Watson having quite a handy first half. We look at the stats now prior to the second half getting underway. And the kicks, 4 more in favour of Essendon. The marks, 31 to 23 in favour of Hawthorn. The frees, 13 to 19 in favour of Essendon. The handballs, 22 to 34. So big margin there in favour of the Bombers. Essendon on top in the hit-outs, and Hawthorn having 2 more shots at goal.
Bob, it was quite obvious that Jeans had studied the play of Alshaw, who kicked 6 fine goals on Saturday against Footscray, particularly the way he scouted around the pack. And of course, we've seen that Robertson hasn't left his side all night, and it's been a very effective move as far as Jeans and Hawthorn are concerned.
Well, whenever Robertson has played against Essendon, he's had a tagging role to do. We've witnessed in the premiership a couple of years ago when he's on Watson, and then, you know, wherever Robertson does play, he is used in a tagging role. I think he doesn't like being tagged himself, and accordingly...
That's why he does it so well, I suppose.
That's probably right. But I did notice with the players running out on the ground, Paul Salmon is still wearing the tracksuit, so it looks as though Salmon will remain on the interchange bench.
We'll take a break. Back with the third quarter shortly. The Herald Shield Grand Final, very good match. Assumption defeating Parade College 10-3 to 6-4, 63 to 44 in the 1985 Grand Final of the Herald Shield. And the other match, the Herald Cup, was won by St Joseph's 13-14 to Doncaster 6-2.
Pete, I should imagine that the Australian Football Championships would be pretty pleased with this crowd. A cold night, there's been paddle rationing, and I'd say the crowd would be between 25 and 30,000 people, Pete.
Yes, very good crowd in view of the conditions, Lou. A cold night, and petrol pretty hard to find around Melbourne at the moment.
Salmon sitting on the bench. Of course, he's off the ground naturally, sitting on the bench, but hasn't had one kick, and Mew's done a great job on him up to this ball so far in the game. Whether he comes back, that's another different story, isn't it?
Yes, he certainly did, Lou. With Chris Mew, we know what a wonderful player and a wonderful defender he can be.
Third quarter of the Foster's Cup Grand Final between Essendon and Hawthorn. Essendon, the reigning title holders, and they also won the competition back in 1981. They trailed by 5 points against the Hawks at the moment, 23 to 28 in a low-scoring game. Umpire Peter Cameron says the player was ridden into the ground. It was Merv Neagle, and it will be a bounce. Justin Essendon's attacking half of the ground. Knocked away by Walsh. He's done well in the ruck tonight. Watson looking for a hand pass. Can't get one out. A very scrambly start to the third quarter, and once again umpire Peter Cameron will bounce it, this time just off the, or on the edge of the square. Umpires haven't had to throw the ball in the air, and that speaks volumes for the surface of VFL Park. A couple of soft spots near the grandstand. Finally giving a free kick to break up the packs. Loveridge. Good long kick by the Hawthorn rover, trying to find Dunstall. Not two hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Kennedy roves it well, has a snapshot with the left foot, puts it through for a point. And so the difference now 6 points in favour of the Hawks, and that snapshot coming up at the 1 minute mark of the term. 4-5 to 3-5. Gary Folds, and what a great season he's had, brings the ball back into play. Goes for the short kick. It's away from Curran. We haven't seen much of him either tonight so far. Wallace to DP Domenico. Shocking pass. Straight to Watson, who said thanks very much. Watson goes inboard towards centre field and finds Baker. Harvey, or Williams rather. Williams strikes the tackle well. Up the half forward, Lester Smith. Well, Russell it was, tried to knock it clear. He couldn't get it away from Harvey. And about 4 or 5 players jump on it, and so it will be a bounce about 35 metres out from the Essendon goal. Kevin Sheedy, the Essendon coach, certainly had plenty to say, as Peter Donegan mentioned at half-time. Down by Abbott. Will sock it off the ground. Handley past Watson. Good tackle by Wallace on Neagle. He might be penalised for holding the ball. He is. Free kick to the Hawks.
Just over the 2 minute mark of the third quarter. 6 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. The ball back into the centre of the ground. Punched away that time by Donnell. Another stack up here, but the umpires found a free kick. It'll go to Essendon. It'll be taken by Elshaw. Elshaw with a hand pass over to Neagle. Neagle goes out wide to the flanks, not taking the direct route to goal at the moment for Harvey, but it beats. Now it's still in play, but now it's out of bounds. So it's on Essendon's half-forward line, about 75 metres around from their goal. They're 3 goals, 5-23 to Hawthorn, 4-5-29. Ball back into play again. Grabbed by Abbott, taken off the pack that time by Harvey, down towards the full forward position. Oh, there's another great mark to SR. That's the second. It's taken for the night. Gone for the long kick. Mew and Spencer together. Mew taps the ball down. That'll be a free kick for holding the man. He's played a fine game down there tonight. Kept Salmon kickless. Loveridge copped one a bit high. The umpire said play on. SR fumbled the ball. Robertson gets into him. The ball driven away again by Swab back towards Walsh, who taps the ball on. No one there for Essendon. A hand pass coming out to Wallace. Another hand pass over to Lester Smith, but he got a touch of the fumble. Out wide it goes to Curran. That's a bad hand pass. Backing up well as Abbott, but right on his tail there as Walsh gets into his back. The umpire said it'll be a free kick to him. I thought he got into his back. Walsh not too happy about the decision. So the kick is right across there towards the centre of the ground. DP Domenico up the back, couldn't hold the mark. Neagle overruns the ball. Once again it's Swab kicking it back there towards the half-forward line. Pushed out by Kennedy. Now a chance for Hawthorn to drive the ball back there through Henley. Taken off the pack by Fowles. Fowles picks the ball up well, and we see a bit of fumbling going on there now, but the umpire's got to play this one.
Doing it a throw, Luke.
Oh, golly.
He's got good eyes.
Alan Jeans.
Alan Jeans on the phone, probably complaining to the umpire's board about that free kick.
I don't think so.
I think he'd be in favour of it. Waiting now for the ball to come back into play by Loveridge. Goes for the long kick over the half-forward line. Brereton. Good juggle. A beautiful mark to Brereton. Too strong that time for Western. He's already kicked 1 goal. He's well within kicking distance, only about 45, well, about 40 metres out.
He always makes it tough for everybody, though, Western. It's nobody has an easy night against poor Western, or day, for that matter, with Dermot Brereton judging that one beautifully.
Brereton from 50 metres out. Won't get the distance. It's through for a point to Hawthorn. Off the hands of the players in the goal square. 5 minutes gone, third quarter. Hawthorn by 7 points in a very low-scoring grand final. But the ball, like a piece of soap out there, Super Sopper was used at half-time, but of course they don't have a chance to do the whole of the ground. It's Carey. Neat. To half-back. Oh, Birdie shows Burton, anything you can do, I can do better. Brereton a short pass, trying to find Kennedy, who marks on his chest in front of Glenn Hawker.
Played pretty well tonight, Birdie, hasn't he?
Played an excellent game, Lou. It was a lovely pass, and he's really back to the fire of DP Domenico that we've known right throughout.
Kennedy from 50 metres out. That's a goal. Kennedy's first. Minute mark of the third quarter. Harvey, a beautiful smother by DP Domenico. Once again gives Kennedy a chance, but he fumbles it. Not a chance for the Bombers. The ball picked up and driven by Elshaw up towards their half-forward line. Van der Haar goes for the knock-on. Can't get it far enough away from a Hawthorn player. In goes Harvey. Got one a little bit too high. Baker trying to get rid of the ball. It's a free kick to Hawthorn. And it will be taken by Ayres, will it?
Schwab.
No, Schwab.
If the umpire knew that he did have the tackle. Good decision.
He's played a good game tonight too, Bob. Schwab.
11 kicks to Peter Schwab. His kick up towards the centre wing position. Once again trying to find DP Domenico. Loose ball.
Knocked on by Clark. Clark backs up the second time. Oh, Brereton knocked the fella down. Then who was it? Van der Haar. The umpire called play on. Spencer tries to smother that. Does it well. Over to Wes. Had a chance for a goal. But it veered off at the last moment and through for 1 point. He's certainly upended Van der Haar over there on the wing. Brereton.
So Dermot's not trying to run into people, is he?
Certainly not. 24 plays, 36. Difference of 12 points, a short pass. Left unattended that time was Russo to take the mark down there in the back pocket position. Drives the ball long. Bertie DP Domenico playing the game of his life tonight. Takes that mark. Quickly plays on with it. Oh, there's one in the back to Fowles for sure.
I think Brereton thought that Fowles was going to take the mark, so he thought, well, I'll make him earn it.
Certainly got into the back of his neck. And of course, he upended Van der Haar just before that. The kick falls short. Flying high was Ezard. The umpire said he got one in the back. So had to take the free kick out there on the wing position. Across the centre half forward. Oh, Mark dropped that time by Abbott. Finally, the ball comes back there to centre half forward. Still plenty of messing about, and the umpire will ball this up at centre half forward. Not the most attractive football in the world, but it's a pretty tough game out there.
Yes, it might be cold, but I'm sure those spectators are really enjoying it.
36 plays, 24 in favour of Hawthorn. Just over the 8.5-minute mark. A bit of fumbling going on. Elshaw got one in the back, and Elshaw to take the free kick at centre half forward. Of course, he's found kick scarce tonight. He's been well tagged by Roberts.
A lot of free kicks in the third quarter, first to Hawthorn and now to Essendon. Maybe the umpire's trying to break up some of the packs, and that's perhaps not a bad idea. Gary Ayres takes the mark in front of Baker. Plays on, gets around Spencer. Now to the left half-back flank for Hawthorn. He's trying to find Kennedy. In pursuit is Hawker. Back it goes to Russo. Russo back to centre wing. Looking for Judge. 2-on-1 out there. His opposite number 1, Neagle, wins out. Neagle up to half forward. Mark taken by Baker. The 2 number 4s. Baker around here. No, he's not. He's caught. Holding the ball.
It's a beautiful tackle. And that's the greatest improvement in football, I think, these days is in the tackling, and that was a great one.
Well, Hawthorn have been tackling better tonight too, Bob.
Handley. DP Domenico and Donnell. And the latter wins out. Did he play on?
I thought he did.
So did Birdie, I think. Donnell looking for another 15-metre penalty, and he gets it. Seen more of those tonight than we have in the past 6 weeks, I'd reckon. Williams. Mr. Smith let one go, missed Harvey, missed the ball. Robertson paddles it out wide for Chris Mew. In goes Elshaw, and umpire Peter Cameron has decided on a bounce about 50 metres out from the Essendon goal, just past the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. It's a very cold evening at VFL Park, but it's a great game of football. Perhaps not pretty football, as Bob mentioned, but it's certainly tough and it's close. Ezard loses out to Big Abbott. Back to centre field, knock on by DP Domenico, picked up by Van der Haar. Good tackle. Curran dives on top of it. And this time umpire Glenn James will bounce it still inside the centre square.
Van der Haar at centre half back,
right.
Weston centre half forward.
Well, Weston, of course, was moved to the forward line in Essendon's match-winning last quarter, the grand final last year, wasn't he?
They do it quite frequently. It comes off most times too, Pete.
Walsh loses that one to Abbott, picked up by Curran. Curran down towards Kink. Kink and tuck, out comes Dunstall. Carey, wild hand pass. Okay, as it turned out, picked up by Gary Foulds. Foulds was kicked trying to find Watson. Missed by Russo. He may be first to recover. Watson right there with him. Loveridge out of bounds. No, still in play. Big Abbott gets a kick in. Up to Brereton. He's well shepherded. Now Foulds gets a clearing kick back towards centre field.
Back towards the centre. Missed Ayres completely picked up now by Hanley. Hanley's got the ball out there in the wing, but he juggles it. Gets it clear. Oh, Curran nearly marked that one. But luckily for the Bombers, Foulds gets a good hand pass out. Hawker with a short pass. It'll be, oh, Mark dropped that time by Williams. Tapped on again by Hawker. A scramble develops here, but the umpires found a free kick. It'll go there to Donnell. Said he was grabbed when he didn't have the ball. Donnell at centre field with a 15-metre penalty. Goes out wide. Weston, interference that time.
Play on.
Umpires call play on. Watson with a hand pass over to Harvey. Back to Watson. This looks dangerous over there to Weston. A goal for sure. Third quarter, the 1985 Foster's Football Grand Final. 6 points the difference. And we're waiting now for the umpire to bounce the ball at centre field. That's if they can never get it up here. I should imagine everyone would be pleased with the crowd, but as we mentioned before, round about the 25 to 30,000 mark.
I think they all should get a medal or free grand final tickets for sitting out in the outer when it's 3 degrees.
Waiting now for this centre bounce. 6 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. Knocked out by Walsh. Juggled by Wallace. Back it goes. Kicked off the ground that time by Loveridge. Vanderhaar. Down he goes. Well bumped by Loveridge that time. And again, we see a bit of soccer tactics going on there by Donnell onto the boundary line. He lets it go over the line and out of bounds on the centre wing position with Hawthorn in front by 6 points.
Boundary throw in on centre wing. Abbott and Walsh. Neagle. He fumbles, but we can make excuses for the players tonight. Brereton over to Wallace. Haven't seen much of Wallace so far this quarter, but he had a great second term. Knocked down by Carey. Trying to find King perhaps. King should get there first if he can pick it up. Doesn't bother about it. Sockers it off the ground. Williams in front. Again. Soccer tactics up to Harvey. Offloaded by Robertson. Thought there might have been a free kick there, but not so. Curran. Back to Wallace. Oh, beautiful smother. Lovely smother. Great play, Essendon. Hawker. Back towards centre wing. Williams. Played on.
Yeah, he does.
Back towards half forward. Underneath it, Baker. Oh, Gary Ayres. Superb mark. Ayres from centre field. Down towards half forward. Trying to find Kennedy. Any overhead mark tonight is a good one. He was just about off too, Kennedy. Now he's about 55 metres out from goal. Lead made by Dunstall, but I think he'll ignore that because the goal he kicked was from a similar position, perhaps a little bit closer in. He's gone for a short pass, and on his own was Schwab, who'd moved down from the half-back line.
Did a very effective play tonight too, Peter and Bob.
This is the skill and class of both of these sides. Both teams have got players prepared to sneak down the ground, even from half-back.
Schwab's kick is a goal. That's his first goal. Hawthorn 6-6. The goal there. 6-6-42 to 4-6-30. Robert.
Yes, you can never relax with any of those players. Essendon just relaxed temporarily, and the ball came down. As we see a beautiful mark by Ayres. He plays on, and a lovely kick. And Kennedy. And again, great courage in keeping the eye right on the ball.
Centre bounce infringement, unforgivable against Hawthorn. Back to Elshaw from Walsh. Elshaw puts the Bombers into attack. A long kick up to half forward. Knocked away by Mew. Baker into the goal square for Harvey. Will it bounce for him? Yes, it does. Goal! That came up in 12 seconds. And the game picks up about 4 gears. Class it was. 6-6 to 5-6. Still Hawthorn by 6 points.
They got away from them too, Harvey, Bob.
Well, I think as Pete called it, it's unforgivable to give away a free kick under those circumstances. And Baker, excellent football. And Harvey, he was ready to kick it off the ground, and he's got the favourable bounce. And when things are running for you, it comes back. When it's not running for you, it goes away. but Hawthorn foolish to give away a free kick in that manner.
Salmon warming up, ready to come back on the ground just over the 16-minute mark of the third quarter. Only 6 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. And this has been a real struggle all night. It's a tough game out there. Knocked out by Walsh, grabbed by Elshaw. They go back into attack, the Bombers. Well played by Ezard, but no one there for Essendon. Grabbed by Russo. Back it goes to Robertson, a hand pass. Not a good one. Back there to Neagle, a hand pass back to Walsh. Gets out of the pack. Good play by Walsh. Brilliant play and a perfect pass. And the ball marked by Harvey. Quickly plays on. It's a long shot. It's going close. It'll be a goal. Scores a dead level. It's the 7.5-minute mark of this third quarter. The 1985 Foster's Football Cup Grand Final. There they go again. Knocked out that time by Abbott. He goes after it, tries to spin out the pack, but they stuck up there on the umpire. Will ball it up. Harvey's kicked 4 goals. DiPiero Domenico 3.
Ezard 2.
Ezard 2. There's Kevin Sheedy. Would certainly be a lot happy about his side's performance in this last 10 minutes. Scores dead level. Knocked out by Walsh, doing a great job. Overrun the ball was Lester Smith. Still plenty of funneling going on, but they're both nervous. The umpire found the free kick. It'll go to Williams. He's down there towards centre-half forward. The Bombers will go deep. Oh, he's gone for a hand pass over to Neagle. He balked. He was going to give it a foul. Now he goes back on the left foot. It's a long kick up there towards the full forward position. Punched out that time. Oh, beautiful pick up by Watson. A snap and goal. That's not a bad one either. I think it beat near with bounce back. Is it a goal or not a goal? So the Bombers are at the front. That's Watson's first. A goal the difference. 7 goals, 6:48 to Hawthorn. 6 goals, 6:42. And Alan Jeans looking pretty worried, because he knows the Bombers can really go to town now.
Well, they've gone to town in the last few minutes, and there, the explosive pace of Watson as he just broke away and gave nobody a chance. A lovely piece of shepherding there. Morris looking for the free kick. A great piece of shepherding by Weston, but a magnificent goal by Timmy Watson.
Well, we've seen the true Essendon in the last 3 minutes, haven't we? Real class, no doubt about that. When they get going, they are unbeatable. Hawker. And once they get their tails up, nobody stops them either. I can't see them being stopped now. They keep playing like that. Van der Haar's kick, a short one, up towards the point of the square. Morris. Oh, beautiful knock on by Curran. Van der Haar. Oh, lovely dive, Paul. Yes, a 3.3 degree of difficulty there, but the umpire didn't wear it.
It was a good decision by Cameron. Didn't fall for the 3-count trick, did he?
No.
Will be a bounce at Hawthorn's right half forward flank. The Bombers by 6 points, and they really hit top gear in the last 5 minutes. Walsh down towards Handley. Shocking kick. Van der Haar takes the easiest of marks. Van der Haar in the left back pocket for Essendon. Sees Folds. Folds with the hand pass. The Bombers looking good. Hawker with long kick up towards the centre wing position. Knocked away by Morris. Chance for Russo. Russo's kick, a short one. Marked again by Hawker.
Hawker's starting to come into it now. He's had, what, 5 weeks break and been quite ill and starting to look good.
Not a good kick. Wallace on centre wing. Hawthorn centre man, the league's leading kick getter this year. Brereton at half forward, good mark. Brereton could almost get the distance. In fact, we're at a day match. I'd suggest that he would, but under these conditions with a greasy ball and being wet underfoot, we'll have to wait and see. Brereton, 50 metres out from goal, gets the distance. The accuracy isn't there. 1 point. Essendon lead by 5 points. 20 and 3/4 minutes gone. 43 plays 48 in the Foster's Cup Grand Final from VFL Park. Steve Carey, we haven't seen much of him in the last few weeks. It's hard to get into the Essendon side, but Carey doing a pretty good job on Dunster. He's kept him kickless so far. Then again, the Essendon full forward, be it Spencer or Salmon, hasn't had a kick either. Just about a throw by Judge, and that was not seen by the umpire. DiPiero Domenico has a shot. As he put it through, no, hit the post. 21 minutes gone. Essendon by 4 points. The Hawthorn interchange bench.
I'm a little bit surprised, Pete, that with the Dunstall not doing much, that Curran hasn't gone to full forward and Malaxos maybe tried in a forward pocket.
Yes, well, Jeans hasn't made the moves yet. Off the hands of Donnell, picked up by Carey. Back to Donnell at right half-back flank.
They actually handed to him, Pete.
Donnell. Trying to find Weston. Lester Smith for Hawthorn. Mark taken by Abbott. On to Di Domenico. Dummies the hand pass. It may have been touched off the boot. Brereton takes the mark. Is it allowed? Yes, it is. Brereton a long way from goal, though, about 70 metres. Couldn't possibly score from there, so he's gone for a pass, and that's effective. Michael Tuck takes the grab. Tuck at left half forward flank. Probably about 60 metres from goal. And this fellow was also a good kick.
Been very quiet tonight, Tuck. He's had 5 kicks up to this stage of the match, Pete. The goal here will be very handy for the Hawks.
Michael Tuck, a veteran of over 250 games. Dunstall and Carey. Tuck going for the long shot, though. Goal would put Hawthorn in front. Walsh can't take the mark. Kennedy and Clark. It's out of bounds. Left forward pocket for Hawthorn.
22.5 minutes gone. The difference now 4 points in favour of Essendon, with Hawthorn a chance to score. A throw in about 30 metres around from their goal. It'll be Kennedy and Walsh to go for the knockout. Knocked out by Walsh. He pushed Kennedy in the back, the umpire said. So Kennedy's got a chance to put the Hawks back in front. He's already kicked 1 goal. They've got a lot of fighting spirit about them, Hawthorn. They won't throw the sponge in, Bob.
There's no worries about that, Lou. And, you know, these two sides are here because they are the 2 best sides in it.
There's the kick on its way. And he's put that through for a goal. So the Hawks are at the front again. 7 goals, 6:48 to Essendon. To Hawthorn, 7 goals, 8:50. Just over the 23-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Alan Jeans looking a little, I couldn't say he was looking happy because he never looks happy.
Yes, there was no doubt that Walsh did get into the back of Kennedy well before the ball came. And I see Essendon interchange players, Banfield, Waterson and Spencer.
7 goals, 8:50 Hawthorn to Western, 7-6-48. It's been like that all night. Other side getting that big brightness. Jack Edwards said at half-time, any side that gets 3 goals in front of here tonight would win the game for sure. Here we go again. Knocked out that time by Kennedy. Alshaw's kick is not a good one. There's a chance now for the ball to be picked up by Russo. He goes for a pass to Brereton. Couldn't hold that mark. The ball pushed away by Vanderhaar. Alshaw's having a bit of trouble picking this one. I actually kicked it out of bounds, but not on the full. And there'll be a throw-in from the Hawthorn half-forward line, about 75 metres around from their goal. The difference, 2 points in favour of the Hawks for the 1985 Foster's Football Cup Grand Final. The ball kicked by Curran up there towards the full forward position. There's a go for Dunstall, a hurried snap for goal. I think that's his 2nd touch for the match, and the ball is out of bounds on the full. Into this quarter by 24.5 minutes. 50 plays 48, and the Hawks in front by 2 points.
Yes, Essendon hit a purple patch about 10 minutes ago. They got 3 quick goals, but now Hawthorn back in front by 2 points. A very low-scoring match. Vanderhaar. Lovely long kick trying to find Walsh, and he just about marked it too, Kevin Walsh. Williams spins out. He's caught by Handley. Umpire's given a free kick to Essendon. It'll be taken by Walsh. Elshaw. Morris to half forward. Walsh in front. Oh, Curran was the flyer. Couldn't complete the mark.
Dunstall off the ground and Whitman on the ground. Point for Hawthorn.
Folds his kick toward the boundary line. Will just about get there. In fact, it does. Yes, Dunstall hasn't been able to handle the conditions tonight at all, and obviously Alan Jeans, feeling a more mobile player like Whitman, will be able to handle it just a little bit better. Dunstall in the bench, or on the bench. Boundary throw in. Right half forward for Hawthorn. Salmon back on for the Bombers. Stuffed away by Brereton. Just about out of bounds again. Vanderhaar will be content to see it over the line. And it will be thrown into play adjacent to the behind post. We're playing time on now in the 3rd quarter. Only 2 points in it. The Hawks lead by 2. Essendon hit the lead about midway through this quarter. But Hawthorn replied through John Kennedy. Over the tuck. Handley gets a beautiful tap out and goals. Hawthorn by 6 points.
That was great play on the part of Curran, Bob.
It certainly was, Lou. And Handley has had a tagging role right through tonight. And Hawthorn hope for big things from Handley as we watch on replay. Tuck gets a short kick. Curran taps it over. And the pace of Handley really showing out.
Here it is again from another angle. Handley's first goal for the night. And a badly needed one for Hawthorn. Gives them some breathing space. Salmon in the ruck for the Bombers. 26.5 minutes gone, third quarter. It won't be a long term with not much scoring. A free kick going Essendon. Now it's going Hawthorn's way. And it will be taken by Abbott. Abbott just short of the circle, straight down the ground, looking for Brereton or Judge. Brereton, 2 hands to it, can't complete the mark. Judge comes in to back him up. Nobody can get clear. Umpire Peter Cameron sees a free kick going Essendon's way, and the recipient will be Thompson at centre-half back.
27 minutes gone of this third quarter. 8 points the difference in favour of the Hawthorn. The ball kicked out by Thompson. Weston in front's got the mark. Of course, he's been shifted down to centre-half forward. And Van der Haar down there in defence. A long kick to half. He's grabbed it. Oh, he got a heavy one that time from Swab. Knocked him right out. But I think it was a fair enough bump, but the umpire's going over to take his number.
Glenn James didn't think so.
Oh, I don't know, Bill. What do you reckon, Bob?
He had to go and try and stop it, Lou, as far as I was concerned.
Oh, well, Swab immediately put the arms up in the air to say it was quite legitimate, but umpire James doesn't think so. But
the fastest book in the West.
The most important thing that Harvey's okay.
You watch again on replay, and well, he certainly did hit him. And well, in games like this, you have to try and stop the player taking that mark.
Well, both umpires are going up to talk, so both umpires look as though they've got Swab for the infringement.
Not much doubt about that.
So he's gone by the 2 field umpires, and they certainly carry a bit of weight when you go to the tribunal. Well, it was a gutsy effort by Harvey to take that mark, and of course he's kicked 4 goals up to this stage of the match. He'd be about 55 to 60 metres out, and they're trailing at the moment by 8 points. And we're at the just on the 28.5 minute. There's the kick on its way. Doesn't make the distance. In front there was Walsh. Couldn't hold the mark. A hand pass from Weston to Elshaw. He's grabbed. Has a go at the goals. It's through. So the difference is 2 points again. He read that beautiful. A good knockout that time by Weston. 8 goals, 8.56 Hawthorn to Essendon. Their score. 8 goals, 6.54.
And we saw Kevin Sheedy there, but now on replay, Weston across to Elshaw. And Lester Smith looking for the free kick, but none coming. And the umpires are not giving easy ones like that tonight.
29 minutes gone. 2 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. Knocked out that time by Salmon, playing in the ruck. They're falling over like 9 pins. The umpires found a free kick to Russo.
Salmon's in trouble, Lou, with his knee, I think.
Well, it's a bit of bad luck as the ball goes out wide. A mark there to Hanley. Hanley gives the hand pass over. Swab has just been reported by the 2 field umpires. Drives the ball down. Knocked away by Carey. Picked up by Van der Haar. Only 2 points the difference. There's Elshaw. He's been left alone now. He's grabbed around the neck. Umpire paying the advantage rule. Over it goes to Donnell. Can they get another one before the siren sounds? Back it goes to centre field. They're crushing in hard.
Salmon off the ground.
Oh, he's in plenty of trouble with that knee. Let's hope it's not too serious for him.
Doesn't look too good, does it?
Hand pass back to Elshaw. He's been let run loose over this last 10 minutes or so. At the back is Weston. Knocked down to Spencer. Spencer goes for a hand pass. Coming over now. Donnell tries to get it back there to Williams. A bit of fumbling going on by Ablett. Hazard comes out of the pack. A hand pass. Knocked away by Russo. And this is pressure football as we see Tuck drive the ball out there. Now a chance for Robertson to take a mark out there at half back. Into the quarter by just over 30 minutes, and it's 2 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn.
Loveridge. Loveridge on right centre wing. Down to Wallace, and Wallace takes the mark in front of Spencer, who'd been standing on the mark before, so he covered a bit of ground. Wallace doesn't get that much with his kick at the back. Brereton marks, plays on, 10 metres out or 5, he's stopped it. So Brereton's second goal coming up at the 30.5 minute mark as Alan Jeans is also on the boundary line. 9-8 to 8-6, 62 to 54.
Yes, and Brereton, as we watched, Wallace was very close to the man on the mark, and Brereton standing his ground well, but Van der Haar slipping over just at the wrong time, and Brereton very quick to go on, follow through, and pick up an easy goal.
31 minutes gone. I didn't think it'd be a very long quarter. Not too much scoring, but 6 minutes plus in time on now. 9-8 to 8-6. 62 plays 54.
And both sides have scored 5 goals in this quarter, though, Pete.
Yes, they have, Bob. Hawker knocked away by Morris. Ball driven back by Hawthorn towards centre field. Picked up by Hawker coming into the game for Essendon, as Lou mentioned before. Oh, Harvey again. No, just can't quite handle it cleanly. In goes Schwab. Ezard, 15 metres out. Goal! Or is it? Yes, it's a goal.
Oh, what a tough game this is, Peter.
31 3/4 minutes gone. 2 points in it. 62 to 60.
Yes, and Ezard picking up his third goal. So it's just goal for goal as we see Hawker. 2 kicks in a matter of seconds. It comes out. Harvey coming through. Weston in there again. Weston tapping the ball on. So Weston, since going to half forward, has had a hand in 3 goals.
That's right, Bob, and that move comes off every time for Sheedy. We've seen it happen time and time again, Pete, haven't we?
Nice to be able to do that when you're a coach, isn't it? And come off every time. 2 points in it in favour of Hawthorn. The 3/4 time siren can't be too far away, surely. Neagle. Hawker. Just about flings the ball, picked up by Handley. And Hawker again. Must have been touched. The umpire calls play off. Kennedy's kick down towards full forward. Curran can't take it. Thompson can. He goes for the boundary line, or Van der Haar. Van der Haar just about tagged by Tuck. Gets offloaded. Still gets his kick in, Van der Haar, and it's a long one. And the siren goes for 3/4 time. 2 points in it. 9-8 to 9-6 in the grand final of the Foster's Cup. 4 in that quarter. Goal kickers for Essendon. Ezard 3, Elshaw 1, Watson 1 and Harvey 4. For Hawthorn, Di Domenico 3, Brereton 2, Kennedy 2 and singles to Handley and Schwab. At least one reported player, Peter Schwab, by the 2 field umpires, and there may be another, depending on an incident between Ken Judge and Merv Neagle earlier in the match. Your comments to 3/4 time, Bob Skilton.
I don't know what more you could ask for in that term, Pete. Hawthorn kicking a quick goal to go to a couple of goals break, and then all of a sudden we saw Essendon in full flight. They had Harvey playing excellently. Ezard bobbed in with a couple of quick goals, and the move of Van der Haar to centre half back, and Kennedy on that time putting the ball through, but Weston down to the forward line, and as Lou said earlier in the piece, so often has the move of Weston down there, and there we saw a magnificent piece of teamwork with Ezard finishing off on the end of it. Schwab came right down the ground at one stage, and Hawthorn fought back just when it looked as though Essendon were going to go on with the business and take the game right away from them with those 3 quick goals. Hawthorn came back again and lifted their game. Wallace has been solid in the centre. Di Domenico excellent on the centre wing, and around the pack, Loveridge and Handley have been good players. But likewise, we have seen some great play around the packs by Harvey, Watson, an electrifying piece of football by Watson when he tore through and put a goal through. And all in all, I think it was a quarter of football that was worth coming a long way to see. Handley finishing off after Curran tapping the ball over. Both sides, I think, can be justifiably happy with the quarter of football that they've put up. And there we see Harvey solidly met by Schwab. Schwab was reported by both umpires, but Harvey was soon back on his feet, puts the ball down, and that time we see Elshaw, who was well held in the first half by Robertson, but as Lou said, got away on a couple of occasions.
All right, let's go down to Peter Donegan on the boundary line. What's it like down there, mate? Is it a bit cool?
Very cold, Pete, but I don't think it's going to be cold out on the ground in the last quarter. Kevin Sheedy emphasised to his players that they need persistence. There goes Kev now, and he said, now is the time to get the hard ball. This is the one that counts, the last quarter of the grand final. Alan Jeans, Jack?
Alan Jeans said, if you want it, it's yours for the taking, go and get it. Malaxos has come on to replace Ken Judge. It's going to be a great last quarter. I'm sure you're not going to bed. Sit up and watch it.
Hawthorn leading by 2 points. The last quarter of the Foster's Football Cup Grand Final coming up. Let's return to Peter, Bob and Luke.
Right, thank you, Pete. Thank you, Jack. Umpire Peter Cameron starts proceedings in the final quarter of the 1985 Foster's Cup. I'm sure Hawthorn has vivid memories what happened in the 1984 day grand final when they were completely overrun by Essendon. Essendon starting in the right way. They'll get a free kick. It's going to Banfield at centre field. Banfield goes for the hand pass. Under Neagle. Neagle's well shepherded. Long kick up towards full forward. Ball hits the deck. Picked up by Morris. His kick is not a long one. Getting underneath it, Williams. He's trapped it. Has a shot. Won't quite make the distance. Mew couldn't take it. Abbott dispossessed pretty quickly. Chance for Harvey to soccer it off the ground. The ball rushed through for 1 point. And that makes the difference similar. 1 point in favour of Hawthorn. 62 to 61 at the 52nd mark of the last quarter. Chris Mew. He's done a great job at full-back tonight. He kept Salmon kickless. Long kick by the Hawthorn defender. Knocked away by Spencer. Morris has to beat two of them. In comes Timmy Watson. Picked up well by Russo, who gets offloaded. It's out of bounds, and it will be a penalty free kick to Essendon to be taken for them by Clark.
Of course, the bad luck of the night too, Pete, was Salmon going off in that third quarter with an injured knee.
Yes, we've certainly seen plenty of incidents, haven't we? At least one reportable one. Salmon off. So it certainly had its moments, this grand final. Ayres takes it from Abbott. Up to right half forward. Two Hawthorn players are there. Handley gets the hand pass on to Loveridge. Loveridge, a good 55-metre kick into the goal square, and it goes through for 1 point, I think, or is it a mark to Folds? No, the umpire has paid the mark to Gary Folds, right on the line. Folds has kicked to the half-back line for Essendon. Oh, Handley, what a mark! What a mark! Great grab, 2 minutes in.
He's done a good job tonight.
Certainly has, Bob. A point the difference. Handley. There it is in replay again. That was a great mark. As Bob said, he's played a great game tonight. From about 45 metres out. Doesn't quite make the distance. The pack fly. They all flew as they go. From Malaxos. He's got it off the ground. No. Touch, 1 point. So it's 2 points the difference still. Well, he had a chance. Sheedy there looking very, very tense. And no wonder. It's been a real tough game tonight. 63 plays 61. Bowles gets away from his opponent that time. Curran goes for the long kick, looking for Hawker on his own. Takes the mark out there at a half back. Well guarded by Tuck to get a 15-metre penalty, but he's giving his teammates plenty of time to pick up their opponents. Hawker balks. Short pass. It'll be okay and marked here by Spencer. Back to Hawker again out there on the centre wing position. A lovely pass. Carey. Back it goes to Banfield. Banfield with a left footer up there looking for Van der Haar, but he was too late and a good mark to swap. He's played a fine game tonight. He's had 13 kicks. Good pass, and Ayres has got the ball out there on that centre wing position. Into this quarter by just on 3.5 minutes. Oh, that was bad play as the ball comes back now and they clear it away. Out there towards the wing, to half forward, and there's a good mark to Spencer. I think they got him down there in defence, plays most of his football on the forward line.
I think he's playing in the ruck, Lou.
Well, he came there as a ruckman, Bob, as the hand pass goes over there out of Donnell. Donnell at centre field having a bit of trouble picking it up. A hand pass back to Thompson. Thompson out there on the edge of the square. He's pushed by DP a minute ago, but still gets the kick. And there's a good safe mark taken there by Abbott at centre half back.
He's done all right too, Lou.
Yeah. Yes. 15-metre penalty. 2 points the difference. 9 goals, 9.63. Hawthorn arrests and 9.761 as we approach the 4-minute mark of this, the last quarter.
Well, the advantage rule not paid there. And it will go back to Wallace, and Peter Donegan, I understand, might have some news on Salmon.
Yes, Pete, I've just been down to the rooms. The looks on the Essendon officials' faces were very, very glum when Salmon went into the room. He was limping quite heavily, as you saw. But the news is that hopefully it's only a recurrence of what happened out of Victoria Park, and that is a knock on the knee. Of course, being so cold, he'd feel it. They're examining him at the moment. He won't come back on the ground, or it's very unlikely that he will take any further part in the match. But the Essendon officials have their fingers crossed that it's only a knock to the knee with Paul Salmon, and for the sake of football, let's hope so.
Yes, Pete. Knocked down by Spencer. Finds Carey. Morris at the back is Schwab. Gets it back to Loveridge. Loveridge's kick is a high one to half forward for Hawthorn. Kennedy couldn't complete the mark. Burrows in, tries to recover, can't do so. In goes King, and the umpire Glenn James will bounce it at centre half forward for Hawthorn, about 55 to 60 metres from their goal. 5 minutes into the final quarter of this 85 grand final. A very crowded bounce it is. There must be about 18 players around it, it would seem. In goes Spencer. He's won that one. Morris looks for a free kick. He should get one there. Morris broke his hand against Geelong tonight, playing his first senior game since then. DP Domenico, fine mark. He plays on. He's gone out wide towards the pocket, trying to find Curran. No free kick. Handley trying to get the ball out, not successful. Ball spooned out finally to Loveridge. He'll get onto his left foot and have a snapshot at goal. That's not bad. He stopped it, I think. Oh, why didn't the goal umpire? It's through.
Now he's got a chance to mark this one. Well played by Mew. But backing up well is Nobby Clark, a short pass. Oh, he couldn't mark at that time. Weston was kicked out of his hands that time by Morris.
3 times, Lou, Hawthorn have given away a centre square free kick, and that's unforgivable, isn't it?
Well, wonderful piece of football there by Ayres. It was desperation plus to just dive and punch that ball away.
8 points the difference. Approached the 7-minute mark of the last quarter. Swab can't pick that one up. Going after it now is Harvey, right on the boundary line. It'll be out of bounds about 35 metres around from the Essendon goal. They're trailing by 8 points. Ball back into play again. Weston taps it down, looking there for Watson. A bit of a stack up again. Coming out of the pack that time was Elshaw. Loveridge gets a short kick. Over it goes to Ayres. It's a bad one. A fumble that time, but you can't blame him for that. Robertson gets a hand pass out. It's driven away now back to Little Loveridge, who kicked that magnificent goal just a moment ago. A hand pass over to Wallace, and Hawthorn get their running game. That's a bad kick. It's stopped there but he'll get a free kick after he kicked the ball he was interfered with. So it might be running their way. It's 8 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. Russo at centre field, a long hand pass. Loveridge again, drives the ball long, looking for Curran down there. It's punched. Oh, he's got it! Bowles couldn't get over the top of it. Now he's well within kicking distance, only about 30 metres out. And they're in front by 8 points. Well, it might be 35. It's
on replay now, we see an excellent mark by Curran. Hasn't had a lot of kicks. Foles has done a good job down there, but a vital kick now.
There's the kick on its way. Doesn't make the distance. And there's a great mark taken there by Spencer, it is.
Looks a bit of a goer, Lou, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
well, Kevin Sheesy's got a lot of faith in this young kid. Over to Rene King, a chance to mark. They're trailing by 8 points into this quarter by 8.5 minutes. The last quarter of the 1985 Foster's Football Cup Grand Final.
Kink, a little bit short of the right half-back flank. That's a good kick up the centre wing. Knocked away from Harvey, but the chances for Hawker and Judge. The latter shoots out the hand pass. Kennedy trying to pick it up. He does so close to the boundary line. Di Domenico can't get clear. Donnell throws it out. Elshaw, likewise. That one's penalised. Free kick to be taken for Hawthorn by Robertson. Looking for Brereton over the top. Spencer, that's just about a mark tonight, surely.
Playing it, please.
Yes, I think he should. And Spencer came on initially to replace Paul Salmon at full forward, but doing a lot of useful work around the packs now. Giving Kevin Walsh a little bit of assistance. Knocked away by Abbott. He's played well. Robertson to Di Domenico. Boot the ball quickly. That's not a catch. Loveridge. Into the 10-metre square. 2 Essendon players are there, one of whom was Spencer. Chance for Brereton, but he fumbles it. Gets the hand pass out to Whitman. Back to Wallace. Gets Scragg. Good tackle by Neagle. Walsh. Back to Neagle again. Looks for and should find Harvey out there. Lester Smith is right there with him though. Harvey twisting and turning. Can't get clear. Now he does. Beautifully done. No free kick, put that one a bit in the back. Chance for Neagle. He's got the pace to get clear and does so. Lovely hand pass to Weston. Weston's gone for a pass down to half forward. Russo knocks it clear. Open ball. Left half forward flank. What was that for, Robert?
Too high. Free kick to Russo.
Let's watch it again.
Elshaw off the ground feet while that was going on.
I reckon.
So Peter Russo, the Hawthorn ruck rover, to take the free kick. He's gone for a pass. It's effective and marked by Robertson at the right half-back flank.
8 points the difference. Hawthorn hanging in there now. We see the mark taken out there by Morris. Out there on the centre wing position. Over the centre half forward it goes now. Di Domenico on the front posse. Punched away by Donnell. Nice play by Handley. Sends the ball up there towards Malaxos in the front posse. Punched out again by that defence. That was Clark. Back it goes down there after the wing. But down goes Foles. And also going down with him that time was Handley. He's played a good game, Bob, hasn't he?
Yes, I'm sure Hawthorn will be extremely pleased with Handley's effort.
I said Spencer was a goer. Handley certainly is as well, isn't he?
Well, that's Spencer knocking the ball out. Hazard and Di Domenico. There could be a clash, but it's knocked out of bounds up towards the centre wing position. Into this quarter by just on 11.5 minutes. It's 10 goals, 9-69 Hawthorn in front by 8 points to Essendon 9-7-61. Ball back into play again. Pushed out by Abbott, punched away again by Hawker. DiPierdomenico kicked off the ground again by Hawker, back towards that half-forward line. Down goes Kink. That could be a free kick against him, but the umpires call play on. And the ball driven back towards the wing position by Robertson. It hits the deck. It's Abbott coming out, but then he went without the ball. Tuck goes down. Did he get one in the back? No, the umpire said it'll be a ball up out there on the centre wing position. Still 8 points the difference. Well, Hawthorn looking reasonably strong. There's Al Shore on the bench for Essendon. Kicked 6 great goals on Saturday. Back it goes to Wallace. Wallace's kick is a bit short. Looking there for Brereton. Coming out to meet it now as well. She's pushed over the line. And it'll be a throw-in from that half-forward line for Hawthorn, about 75 metres around from their goal. With 12 and a half minutes gone. Punched out by Spencer again. He's doing pretty well on the ruck. Knocked on by Ezard. Backing up well as Williams. Ezard goes in again. His kick is smothered. Back it comes there to Hawker. He goes down. There's another stack up developing there, and the umpire will ball it up out there on the centre wing position. 69 plays 61. 8 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. And they're getting pretty close to winning this 1985 Foster's Football Cup Grand Final. Punched on again by Kennedy. Hawker comes out of the pack, loses the ball, but the umpire said he was grabbed when he didn't have it. It was a pretty faint-hearted free kick just the same.
Break up the pack, I think.
Then the ball shot across to centre half forward. Flying high was Harvey. Couldn't hold the mark. Kicked along out wide towards Neagle by Schwab. Neagle gets away from his opponent. He was grabbed. He quickly plays on out wide. Going out to meet it now is Banfield. Banfield, Abbott's there after. They both go down. Picked up now by Waterson it was, I think, and Carey finally couldn't pick it up. After him there is Whitman. The ball is forced out of bounds. Good strong play on the part of Whitman that time. 13 and a half minutes gone, and Hawthorn still in front by 8 points.
Official attendance tonight, 24,812. 13 and a half minutes gone. Knocked down by Lester Smith. Handley fumbles. Chance for Williams. New. Good mark. New from full back. Looks for a lead across the half-back line. He's found Wallace. Great mark by the Hawthorn centre man. You can see that 4 or 5 metres skid there, how slippery the surface is. Wallace a pass to Kennedy. Made a meal of that one, but of course he had plenty of opposition. DiPierdomenico grabbed too high, and he'll take the free kick on centre wing. He decides to play on. Malaxos having all sorts of trouble trying to pick it up.
It was being held.
I know. Robertson gets it back to Malaxos, maybe too high or maybe not. That's in the back, holding the ball.
In the back.
Did he play? No, it is to Hawthorn. I'm sorry, Bob. The way Peter Cameron signalled, I thought it may have been holding the ball. Kennedy with the free kick. He kicked a couple of goals for Hawthorn. Banfield can't come up with the ball. Brereton not letting him.
I think both sides are getting very, very tired, Pete.
Understandable, I think, under the circumstances.
Well, it's been a rugged game, hasn't it?
Yes, there'll be a few
It's
sore
been a
players.
real grand final.
A few sore players tonight. I think the two sides that have enjoyed most would be Fitzroy and Carlton. They play these two sides on Saturday, of course. Loveridge on the boundary line. He's gone over it. It'll be a boundary throw-in about 35 metres from the point post. Didn't go out by much, and Loveridge, you can see there.
Not very happy about Loveridge.
The boundary umpire going a long way across to his counterpart on the other side. Now, let's see.
Yes, I think he may have swung that left foot over the line. Not by much, but may have just gone over.
Well, the boundary umpire was only a couple of metres behind him, so he had a perfect view of it, and we certainly couldn't argue with that. 15 and a half minutes gone. It's in Hawthorn's left forward pocket. Good tackle by Whitman. Sock it off the ground. It is a free kick, says Peter Cameron to Essendon.
Neagle.
He's played a good game tonight, hasn't he, Bob?
Yes, Neagle's right back to his top form, and he's always a good contributor.
Merv Neagle at the right back pocket for Essendon. Good kick by the Bomber centre man. Looking for Van der Haar, who's the flyer. Knocked away by Mew. Picked up by Tuck. Tuck's gone for a pass to Handley. Handley got rid of it pretty quickly to Wallace. Wallace twisting and turning. Great tackle. Lost it. Spencer.
Oh, golly, it's tough out there.
It is pretty tough out there. It will be a bounce by Peter Cameron. Will bounce at about 35 to 40 metres from the Hawthorn goal at the 16.5-minute mark of the term. 8 points the difference.
Well, you wouldn't want chilblains on your ears out there. They'd certainly sting if you got one. There's the ball is pushed out by Brereton. Pushed out by Brereton again. Well, they're all having a miss and a hit there, and they can't get anywhere, and the umpire's letting it go. Finally, it's knocked out there towards that half or back pocket position. It's a hand pass from Robertson back to DP and a minute ago. A long shot up towards the goals. Rowden plays, couldn't hold the mark. Curran went down. It wasn't any free kick, and that's who's that getting scragged that time. Oh, it's holding the ball against. Oh, that was a tough decision against.
It's worse than that tonight, I tell you.
There's a chance now. It'll go to Handley. What do you reckon about that, Bob?
We'll watch it again now.
Let's go to
Oh, well.
No, I think it's a good decision.
Good decision by the umpire. So a chance here for Handley to kick goal number 2. And, of course, this will put Hawthorn in front by 14 points as we approach the 17.5-minute mark of this last quarter. There it is. And that's a good kick and a goal. Hawthorn in front by 14 points. Knocked out by Spencer. Back it goes, and Hawthorn through Handley once again. The boy that Bob was talking about puts them into attack. Kennedy gets it out. Not a very long kick. Kicked off the ground by Tuck, but it's deep down there towards Curran. He'll give a hand pass back to DP at Domenico. He shrugs Donnell off. Has a snap at goal, but he's off target. He's put it out of bounds on the full. It's 11 goals, 9.75 Hawthorn to Essendon, 9.761. 18.5 minutes gone of this last quarter. And Hawthorn looking good. The ball into their attacking zone as it kicked back into play again by Clark. Oh, there's a great mark to Abbott. They're getting well on top now. And Essendon look as though they're sagging a bit.
Played well, Abbott, Lou.
He's played a pretty good game.
Particularly since half-time.
There's the kick up into the goal square now. Burlin have a battle there. The ball punched out. It'll go through for 1 point. So the difference now 15 points. 11 goals, 10.76. Hawthorn to Essendon, 9.761. And we're just on the 19-minute mark of this last quarter. And can Hawthorn hang on, Peter?
Thompson takes the mark just up from the back pocket. Gets it back to centre wing. He's trying to find Waterson. Goes for the knock away. Not successful. Marked by Whitman. A play on call from the umpire. Whitman does. He's trying to find Wallace. And Wallace marks at centre half forward. He's got the longest kick on the Hawthorn side, but that's a pass in any case. And it's taken down there for Hawthorn by Peter Russo. Russo would be within kicking distance, probably about 35 to 40 metres out. Into the goal square. Kennedy. Snapshot is not quite there, is it? Malaxos on the boundary line, out of bounds. A couple of post decisions, perhaps not favouring Hawthorn along the boundary there, initially to Loveridge and then to Malaxos, but both, of course, correct. Folds may get there first. He's pushed over the line by DP Domenico and will get a free kick for that offence. Gary Folds at right back pocket for the Bombers. Had a superb game on Bamble on Saturday. Right out of business. In front, Abbott again. He looks at fine for Hawthorn. So does Handley. He made a meal of that. Loveridge. Loveridge has a snapshot for goal. Will it get there? Underneath it is Spencer. It's touched through, I think, for a point by the Essendon player. Yes, it is. And so that makes the difference now. 16 points. 11-11 to 9-7. 20.5 minutes gone. Sheedy on the phone. Whitman got a hand to it. Recovering first is Waterson. Looks for a hand pass. He's trying to find the electrifying Watson and does so. The acting skipper for Essendon down to Banfield. Banfield and Schwab. Schwab will be content to see the ball over the boundary line, and at left half forward for Essendon, it will be a boundary throw in at the 21-minute mark of the quarter. Bob.
I think we've seen the value of Richard Loveridge to Hawthorn tonight. Hasn't played a lot of games this season, but they really do need his pace around the place. As we watch on replay, and Timmy Watson really fell heavily on that occasion and taking his time getting up.
Luckily the turf is soft. Paul Salmon, of course, already injuring his knee. That'll be an Essendon free kick. It'll go to Ezard. That left half forward flank. He took a couple of screamers earlier in the night. Under these conditions, any overhead mark is a good one. Steve Carey grabbed that one quite in spectacular fashion. Carey going for a pass on his own as Renee King marking 20 metres from goal and should bring Essendon to within 10 points, will it be? Yes.
On replay now, we see Carey's mark, and Carey quick to look down and see Kink.
He's put it through for a goal. No, he hasn't. Well, the goal umpire stood inside the 2 goal posts, but indicated only one behind, and so 15 points in favour of Hawthorn. And the task will be left once again to Chris Mew to bring the ball back into play. He's played a good game at fullback tonight. Certainly has done little wrong. The pass effective there to Robertson. Back to Mew. Mew ultimately gets clear and a long kick up towards the centre wing position.
There's a chance for Abbott to mark the ball. He had no pushed out by Essendon over to Walsh. A long hand pass coming out to Thompson. Goes for a pass. It'll be okay. Oh, he dropped an easy one, Weston. Good play on the part of Russell. They fall over like 9 pins there. The ball knocked out by Thompson again. Mew's in the thick of things. And the umpire's going to ball this up in the forward pocket position for Essendon. Only about 25 metres out from their goal. They're trailing by 15 points. Just over the 22.5-minute mark. He had a chance there to kick a goal. Weston will take the mark, Bob.
There's two vital pieces of play there. The one that Kink had the chance of kicking a goal, and then Weston, the expression on Weston's face now shows just exactly how he feels.
Ball out of bounds about 30 metres around from the Essendon goal. They're down by 15 points. Down goes Williams. He still goes after the ball. He said he's grabbed too high, and he'll take the free kick. He was a bit lucky to get that one, I would say. So Williams only about 35 to 40 metres out on a slight angle, yet to score a goal. 15 points the difference, so if he kicks one here, there's still a bit of time to go. 23.5 minutes gone just about. There's the kick on its way. And that is just about okay. It's a goal. 7 plays 68. 9 points the difference. Knocked out by Walsh. Comes over there to beat Pietro Menego. He's grabbed. He's thrown to the ground by Harvey. Back to the centre. Good mark to Waterson. So there's a chance now for him to go deep into attack. There's a loose man there. Neagle's got it on his own. He'll go for a bit of a long kick, I should imagine. Up it goes there towards the full forward position. Weston in front, punched out by Mew. Backing up well as Robertson. Over it goes to Lester Smith. Back out it comes now. Russo there at half back. Got plenty of time to kick this one out towards the wing position. And there's, oh, he didn't mark that one well, but it's out of bounds.
Great effort, wasn't it?
Oh, well, yes, I suppose it was a pretty difficult mark. 77 plays 68, just on the 25-minute mark. 9 points the difference. And it's been a great grand final, this 1985 Foster's Football Cup. Going through now there was Wallace. Not a great kick. It falls short. Vanderhaar. He's grabbed. Said the umpire said a push in the back. The time starting to run out there. 9 points down, and goals are hard to kick for Essendon. Short pass, back to the centre of the ground. Down goes Williams, a hand pass to Watson. Tries to tap the ball on. He was grabbed. The umpire said play on, stuck up again, and there'll be a ball up down towards Essendon's centre half forward position. It's right on the edge of the square. Still 9 points the difference. 25.5 minutes gone just about. I think for a ball up. Getting pretty close to a Hawthorn grand final win. Knocked out by Abbott. Comes back there to Kennedy. Over Hawthorn's half full, and he's gone for the boundary line. Coming out to meet it is Browder. Beats Browder and Vanderhaar. And it's out of bounds about 80 metres around from the Hawthorn goal.
Kink off, Baker back on.
And Elshaw might be coming back on as well. Walsh in the ruck for Essendon. Contesting with Kennedy. Walsh too much height. Williams on the bottom. Can't pick it up. Paddled out to Russo. Didn't get a kick at the ball cleanly. Walsh again. Just about held it too long. Di Domenico's kick is also short. Down to Curran. In goes Waterson. Grab, looks for the hand pass to Thompson. That's effective. Two Hawthorn players dive on top of the ball. Umpire Peter Cameron says holding it. They paid the West Australian umpire in the state match paid that a lot more than the Victorian umpires seem to do. I say I agree with it. Certainly breaks up the packs. Elshaw, as I said, back onto the ground. Long kick by the Essendon Rover. Abbott, great mark.
Quite a solid game, isn't it?
Very solid. Looks as though he could be a find in the ruck for Hawthorn. Abbott goes wide. Loveridge can't take the mark, but he's got the free kick anyway, and Lester Smith deciding not to play on, and I think wisely under these circumstances. Loveridge from right half back flank. Short pass. Russo marks on centre wing in front of Glenn Hawker. 27 minutes gone. Probably about 3 minutes left for play. Walsh off, fine mark. Walsh at the left half-back flank. And another 15-metre penalty. Like a couple of dollars for every one of those they've dished out tonight. Certainly quite a lot. In front, Di Domenico, knocked away. Williams. Hand pass on the fold. There's the siren. A very short quarter, only 27.5 minutes. And Hawthorn have emerged victorious in the Fosters Cup for 1985. The final scoreboard, Hawthorn 11-11-77 to Essendon 10-8-68. And that's Hawthorn's first win over Essendon in 4 outings. The Bombers won the grand final last year. Works the last spectacular of the 1985 grand final of the Fosters Cup, which has just been won by Hawthorn, and the Fosters fireworks illuminating the light stands of VFL Park, the crowd invading the ground, and the presentation will be done shortly in the VFL Park members area downstairs. The goal kickers for Hawthorn, first of all, DP Domenico finished up with 3, 2 to Brereton, 2 to Kennedy and 2 to Handley, singles to Loveridge and Schwab. And for Essendon, their major goal kicker was Mark Harvey. He got 4 goals, 3 to Wezard and singles to Watson, Elshaw and Willie Skilton. Fosters Cup grand final presentation coming up in just a few moments after this break. Before the Cup presentation, so we might have a discussion on our best players to win the national prize. We check on that right now.
We've just seen a magnificent grand final between 2 great sides, Hawthorn and Essendon. Congratulations to them both for putting on such a marvellous show here at VFL Park tonight. Of course, there always has to be one winner and one loser, and to the winner goes the spoils. To present those spoils, it's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of Australian Football Championships, Dr. Alan Aylett.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, may I, on your behalf, congratulate the players of both teams for another epic struggle. It was very, very tough and tenacious, a real old-style football game tonight. May I also take the opportunity of thanking Carlton and United Breweries for sponsoring the Fosters Cup throughout this season, and also for the wonderful promotion that they've given to Australian football throughout the land. I take another opportunity to congratulate Alan Jeans, Michael Tuck and all the Hawthorn boys on becoming Australian football champions in the year 1985. And to present the Fosters Cup, I would like to introduce to you all the Marketing Director of Carlton United Breweries, Mr. Bruce Siney.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Dr. Aylett. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Carlton and United Breweries, makers of Foster's Lager, Australia's most famous beer, I have to say that, it's my pleasure to acknowledge our association with Australian Football Championships and Channel 7 in the staging of the Foster's Night Football Series. We've been delighted to be associated with the series, delighted to be associated with Dr. Aylett. We're very, very pleased tonight to see Jack Hamilton, the VFL Commissioner, joining us. Equally delighted to be able to work with Bob Skilton, Lou Richards, Peter Landy, and some very, very capable people in the Channel 7 organisation. Ladies and gentlemen, we're delighted too with the support that we received from the public. I think there's clear evidence that night football, which has been very much a part of Melbourne for many, many years, is going to stay here for many, many years, and my company, I'm sure, would like to be associated with it for a long, long time to come. It's my pleasure on, I think, your behalf, ladies and gentlemen, now to invite the captain of Hawthorn, Michael Tuck, to come forward and to take the cup.
I'll just get out my speech. I'd just like to congratulate all the players who played tonight. Basically, I think they won it, but we all made a good team effort. And I'd like to thank all the players at the Hawthorn Football Club who helped us to get there, and the administration of Hawthorn Football Club, and Mr. Jeans, and all the Hawthorn supporters. So I just like to... It was a good game, and at least we got a little bit of a psychological thing now that Essendon can be beaten, so we just like to think we can go on from here. And commiserations to Essendon because it's a good game.
Well, as Michael Tuck holds the premiership trophy aloft, we might call on the man that Michael just spoke about, the man who's guided the Hawks to victory tonight, Coach Alan Jeans. Alan?